Live? All right. Hey, thank you, everybody. Everybody that's here, we want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day. We know you could be anywhere. You're busy, you're running businesses, you're entrepreneurs, you're producers, and every second of your time goes into your wallet, and every time you're spend every second of your time that's spent doing something else better go into your wallet, right? We know that. We live that same way. So we honor you for coming out here today. All of you that are on the live stream, we've got just as much energy and intention to touch your life and help you create the opportunities that you need in your marketing and your sales. Specifically what we're here to talk about today is social video. And first of all, we just want to thank Brandon and the team here at Signature Las Vegas. We get a little round of applause. So it's an honor for us to come and present anywhere, but especially at a place like Signature. We've got Signature Life up here on the back wall. We had an opportunity, I don't remember, maybe about a year ago, to come out and shoot some really, really amazing videos for Brandon and for the company, and he introduced us to Signature Life. And it's one of those moments where I'm thinking about it from a marketing standpoint. How are we going to market this? How can we market this? As we continue to go throughout the night in an interview, it shifts away from marketing to understanding that how serious Brandon is with this, how much genuine influence he's trying to have in creating an opportunity for each one of you. And so we're honored to have the opportunity to come out here and contribute in a very sincere way to your Signature Life. In one of the most important areas that you can do that in is just how do you get more qualified leads in the door? How can I use social media to actually start moving the needle? How can I do this in a way that will really, really make a difference for my business? And I know what that business is. If we can do that today, time well spent for everybody? Yeah. All right. So we call this acting class for entrepreneurs. Jake and I are video guys. If you don't know, we're video guys. We're video guys. We're here to teach you how to get rich and famous on the internet. That's what we all want, right? If you don't want to now, by the end of this 3-hour program, you will, right? We'll tell you exactly why you should do it and exactly what that means. Everybody got a notepad, got something to write with, something to take notes. If you prefer on your phone or online, that's fine, but we wanted you to have some way to capture your stuff. Everybody's got a wristband here. Okay, for our digital crowd, we brought like 50 of them with us. We'll leave all the rest of them with Brandon, and you can do whatever you want with them. But pull out your wristband right here. Somebody read this. What does it say on it right here?
Moneymessage.com.
Moneymessage.com. What does it say on the other side?
Famous for being me.
Famous for being me. If we could just leave you with one thing. That's what it means. Rich and famous for being you. The very best version of you. Take the very best, most interesting, most dialed in, most sincere, most passionate, most skilled person that you are, be able to capture that on camera and share it with somebody who's not sitting in front of you. Because I know you're all just already know how to do that with somebody sitting in front of you, right? You're all aces at it. You're all great at it. It's like when I'm with that person, there's a connection. When I'm on video, what happens, right? How do we keep that connection? That's what we mean. Every time I say rich and famous, it's just a fun word. We like to have fun. That's what it means. Famous for being you. The most real, impactful, amazing version of you. That's what we call acting class for entrepreneurs there. So who are Nick and Jake? All right, well, we're these weird guys. We have some history with some of y'all here. If you've been to immersion, we're the guys that stick the camera in your face. We're the guys that make you bawl on camera when we ask you about your testimonials. But in addition to that, we're marketers and we're videographers. And we have a passion for video that has driven our life for the last decade. And I want to tell you a little bit about why that is and a little bit about who we are, what we've done, and what we're here to accomplish with you today. So first of all, some of the nuts and bolts. These are some of the companies that we've actually worked with or for. Infusionsoft, Glasses.com, 1-800-CONTACTS, Fidelity Investments, KPMG. These are all people I've had an opportunity to either work with, be employed by, do marketing campaigns for. So we do have a lot of corporate Fortune 500 level experience. And we've got a whole lot of experience helping boots on the ground like you wonderful people who are working in the trenches every single day. And if you don't sell houses, then you don't go on vacation. And if you don't sell houses, you don't eat. If you don't sell houses, you don't smile. And if you don't sell houses, you don't grow as a person. And that's the life that we live for the last 10 years. We're entrepreneurs as well. So we have that in common. We're not getting a paycheck. We're getting what we eat, what we kill. I hope we don't offend anybody by that, but that's something, we go out there every day and we hunt the buffalo. And if we get one, we get to eat tonight. And if not, we're going to go hungry. So we have that in common. We want to bring that energy to you because that's what we're passionate about, is helping you. We're not just here to teach you some tips and tricks about marketing. We're here to completely revolutionize what you feel about it inside, and you completely shift your mindset so that you can go out there and get more buffalo. That's all it's about, right? That's what it's about. So some of the certifications that we've had, been a part of Frank Kern's Inner Circle, Marketing Sherpa, Glazer Kennedy, Inner Circle, Perry Marshall, Google Brand Labs, and if you know who Russ Brunson is, we've got two Comma Club awards. This is all just a bunch of stuff to say, yes, there's plaques on the wall. They're pretty meaningless, but they're up there. And they are awards of a lot of hard work and a whole lot of stuff that didn't go right. And that's how gold records get up on the wall, right? You write a bunch of bad songs and some of them are good, and we've been in the business a long time. Some really cool people we've had an opportunity to work for. Most of these are Jay, because he's way cooler than I am. But we've had an opportunity to work with influencers, Olympians, gold medalists, silver medalists, excuse me. She'd be angry if we said she was gold. She was off by 0.8 seconds or something like that, and she got silver, but if you know her well, Picus Pace, she's amazing. Super Bowl champions and author, this good-looking fella here, one of our absolute favorites, most best people we've had a chance to work with, the Brandon Roberts. Award-winning actors, Academy Award-winning actors, people that train the Academy Award-winning actors. And anybody watch Mayans? Anybody watch Mayans? Yeah, we worked with some really, really cool actors. We've had a chance. So when we say acting class for entrepreneurs, it's not just a little thing. It's really saying, what is it about these people that we're fascinated by? What is it about an actor that can translate an experience from a camera and make you feel it while you're sitting in a movie theater? What is that? And more importantly than that, how can I use it to sell more houses? Can I use it? We're going to give you the tip-off, yes. Well, what's the process of that? We'll tell you. And then can I do it as an individual? Each one of you sitting there saying, yeah, I thought they could probably do it, but I tried it and it didn't work. Or I've never tried it because I don't feel comfortable on camera. Or I'm doing it right now and I'm not getting the results I want from it. Well, that's what we're here to talk about, right? What is it that an actor can do to fill, back in the days when we used to go to movies, right? Hopefully returning soon. What is it about an actor that, who in here, just sitting right here, who in here has got a celebrity crush? Oh, yes. Who's your celebrity crush?
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum. That's a good one, kind of juicy. I like it. All right. So,
That smile.
do you remember the first movie that you saw Channing Tatum in?
Oh, yeah. No.
No, it was like.
It was The Blur. I remember him.
Yes. Okay, so we can do some interplay here. We're going to get a little bit raw. When you see Channing Tatum, like maybe not as graphic as you want to get, but what happens? What are you feeling? What are you feeling? 100% real. When you see Channing Tatum, what happens?
I get like stupid, crazy, like crush like
Yeah.
13-year-old girl.
Okay, right. And yeah, like a 13-year-old girl.
Like
So what?
Can't speak. Kind of like now.
Perfect. So it is true that Channing Tatum is a human being. In a way, he's just a guy. And he just grew up in a house, and he just went to high school, and somehow he became Channing Tatum. And if he wasn't Channing Tatum, then maybe he'd be a realtor, or maybe he'd be working at the grocery store or the hardware store doing something else, and people would walk by him, and maybe they'd say, that's a good-looking guy in the grocery store.
Single now.
Single. Hey, there we go. He's available, ladies. He's available. Right? But the point is, if Channing Tatum's not in a movie, he's going to be a good-looking, handsome guy at the grocery store. And I can guarantee you that if you saw him, you would not be having 13-year-old feelings. You'd just say, that guy's pretty attractive. Like, wow, that's a hot guy at the grocery store, right? Okay? Equal opportunity. We've got Les in here, so I'm going to have to scan eyes on my pick on one of y'all. But for all the men in here, who's the celebrity crush here? We've got to get this balanced out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's that? Jennifer Aniston. Okay.
Yes.
Anyone in here who's looks like we're all, maybe you, because you look a little bit younger than us. Who's in here celebrity crush is not Jennifer Aniston? Maybe we should do that, right? Maybe we should raise the hands. Okay, everyone that's under 30. Okay, got it. Okay. It was of a certain time, right? Okay, so what happens when you see Jennifer Aniston? Yeah, you can't talk about it, right? Okay.
Not appropriate.
So it's not appropriate, right? But the point is, if you know Jennifer Aniston, nobody liked her in high school. She was not Jennifer Aniston in high school. She was made fun of. She was awkward. She was weird, right? That's the truth. She became Jennifer Aniston, and she did that through her intention. We don't get too real too fast, but it's not because of the way she looks. I mean, it doesn't hurt, right? But she became that person because she wanted to, because she worked her butt off, because she sat through 10,000 directors that probably wanted to take advantage of her in some terrible way, and she just said, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get what I want from me. And I'm going to put up with all the crap. I'm going to put up with everyone making fun of the way I look. I'm going to put up with all the crap of people that want to give me attention for the way I look, people that want to ask me for favors because of the way I look, and whatever I look like, I'm one person in one body, and I'm going to go do what I want to do, which is make movies, right? That's the type of intention that we're talking about for you. And it's available to every single one of you. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter if you have a family, or if you're young, or if you're old, or if you've tried social media before, or if you hate technology, or if you're verbose, or if you're quiet, or if you're reserved. It doesn't matter. Okay? This is why we got these things printed out. Luckily, they showed up like an hour before we left, and they came. Otherwise, we wouldn't have them. Sometimes that happens, but we're not talking about being famous as a stereotype. I'm like talking about you being famous for being the best version of you. Here's our promise to you today. If you could only take away one thing, it would be that the best version of you is so needed by society. The best version of you has an audience that is just waiting for you to show up. You're going to speak to a certain person in a way that nobody else can speak to them. And there's a lot of people on this planet, and all of them need to be spoken to. And there's a whole lot of people on this planet that need to buy a house. And there's going to be somebody that would never consider buying a house from you that would absolutely be waiting for you, and vice versa, right? So you have an audience, and your audience is waiting. You ever go into the old movies and they would play that certain digital thing and they would say the audience is listening, right? The audience is waiting. Your audience is out there. They're waiting for you. And they're going to only connect at the highest level with the best version of you. So that's what it's really, really all about. So I don't think there's any FTC police in here, but when Jake and I work with an individual person, obviously we reach the point in our career where we try to cherry pick people that we know we can get really, really great results for. So if we talk about any specific results, they're not typical because we don't work with typical people, right? So we're not here to promise you any specific set of results. If we say a number slips out, we said we made X amount of dollars, that's not a guarantee for you. That's not even a recommendation for you. It means nothing to you other than the story. But what we are going to promise you today is that every single one of you has an avenue into this world. Every single one of you can be famous because you can be famous for being you. Okay? Any questions? Are we off on a decent foot? We're feeling the right energy here. Okay, excellent, excellent. Here we go. We're going to tell you two stories right at the beginning because we really want to spend some time building up our trust, because we are going to tell you some things today that I know will be challenging for you. They're going to be 180 degrees from what you've heard. I might say something that to you seems borderline. We're going to push a little bit into the reality of how people think about other people. We're going to talk about kind of these social playground dynamics of how people treat each other online. And if we say anything that's a little bit offensive or that sits wrong with you, we hope we can build enough rapport up front that you give us the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, I know this guy has my best interests at heart. Maybe I'll just go up and tell him that was a bad thing to say afterward, right? Stick with us. We love you guys, okay? We want to tell you a little bit about our backstories. Not the gold records up on the wall. That's never the interesting stuff, right? What's interesting if you go see a really good documentary is all the crap that never went up on the wall, right? That's what you really want to see, okay? So I'm going to tell you one quick story. Jake's going to come up, take over. He's going to tell you a quick story. I'm going to tell you the carpet cleaning story. So I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't grow up with that idea in my head at all. I just thought, like, I don't know, my dad's like a project manager. I'll probably just do that. And so I'll just do whatever I did. I went to college and got the degree that I could get with the least amount of credits and got it done. And then I got a job somewhere. And I just started working this job. And then suddenly that job didn't exist. Anyone ever had that happen? Corporate America, it's really, really safe. All you crazy realtors out there working for yourself, you got to go into corporate America where it's safe. Slight exaggeration of safe, right? Sometimes the job that you had doesn't exist anymore. Or the job that you had is now in Cincinnati, and you can pack up and go over there if you want, right? That's what happened to me. And so I started this thing. I started talking to a guy, with a carpet cleaning franchise. I said, so cool. So cool. I could do that. I could do that. So I decided, hey, honey, what do you think if I, instead of going to get a different job, what if I went into business for myself and I bought a carpet cleaning franchise? I think we could do this. And she's like, why do you want to do that? And I'm like, because I think we could have income and I could have time freedom and all these kind of things that we all think, right? It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. We're going to be cool. Whatever. So I went against her advice, went and talked to another guy. He's like, it's a bad industry. I wouldn't do it. I went against his advice. I bought the carpet cleaning franchise. I had no money. I went to a loan. I took out $38,000 to buy the carpet cleaning franchise, huge truck. I spent another $12,000 to blanket the entire valley with my advertising, which was exactly what they told me to do. And here I am, $50,000 in debt, $49,000 in debt, and the phone rings like 7 times. I booked 2 appointments. I make $566, and then I'm just sitting there on my couch. And I'm saying, like, And this is when I was like 24. So I didn't have a lot of life experience to pull me through this. And I said, I remember sitting on the couch saying, I think I ruined my life. It was sort of this intellectual realization. Like, I thought I was a smart person. I thought I was a really cool, I thought I loved my wife. I thought I was going to give her this great thing. Like, I had a 1-year-old son, and I remember I was sitting there in the bedroom, which was supposed to be my office, on the bed, cold calling people to see if I could come do these appointments. And my wife's out in the front room, and she's playing with my son, and she doesn't know any of this has happened because I haven't got the guts to tell her yet, right? Like, yeah, biggest mistake ever. Sorry, honey. Like, I know I talked you into it. It was the worst thing I've ever done. And I don't know how to say this, right? I thought I was going to give her a good life. And I don't want to equate it with people who've actually had major problems with depression. I've not had that challenge in my life. I was not exactly suicidal at that moment, but for the very first time in my life, I said, I just think my family would be better off if she was with somebody else. Like, I just wish my wife was married to somebody else. Somebody that didn't screw this up so bad. And what did I feel like? I felt like I was an idiot. I felt like I was a terrible person. I was foolish. I was a moron. I was the dumbest person on the planet. I'm the only one in the world that can't figure these things out. Anyone ever feel that way when you're struggling? Like you're uniquely an idiot. Everyone else can have success, but not me. Because I'm an idiot, right? That's where I was in this place. Okay, fast forward. I didn't die. I didn't divorce my wife. I didn't give up. I didn't do anything stupid. I just worked my way out of it. Slow, grind, nothing fancy. Finally got somebody else to take over the carpet cleaning. Started selling groceries in the middle of the night so I could have enough money to eat. Finally got a job somewhere else at Fidelity Investments. Worked my butt off to get my Series 7 and 63 licenses. Started getting some clients. And then fast forward like 5 or 6 years. And here I am sitting with a client at a beach, at an event, and I'm helping them. And they're loving everything I'm doing, and they're paying me really, really good to do it. And he says, hey, you know what, we appreciate what you've done so much. Why don't you just take my hotel room, stay the extra 4 nights, have your wife come down, just take a little vacation and eat whatever you want on the room tab, right? So I tell my wife, hurry and fly down here, get here. Like, hurry and get here. And for those 4 days, we were broke always until this happened. Like, it was just that, it's such a simple thing. But for that one time, we just felt like we were kings and queens, like we were just on top of the world. Like, this is the most amazing thing ever. And so how did I go from feeling like, I just wish my wife was with somebody else, I'm uniquely stupid and I can't do this, to saying, I feel like I'm on top of the world. I'm so glad. Look, and I took the little bit of time to pat myself on the back and say, hey, I finally did it. Like, this is what I wanted. And it actually happened. And so good job me, right? Good job. Like, hey, what happened? And I had a realization in that moment, standing on that beach, which I can take you to right now, that exact beach. And the realization had nothing to do with me, had nothing to do with my value, had nothing to do with my stupid mistakes, had nothing to do with my decisions. The only difference between the worst time of my life and the best time of my life was I had no idea how to market my business. I had no idea how to get leads. I had no idea how to turn leads into sales, and I had no idea how to get more sales. That's the only thing that was wrong with me. It had nothing to do with my value. And I just said, that is so cool. I wonder if I could help other people do that. And since that moment, we've had a desire not only to take on clients, but to teach. And so Jake and I run a program called Money and Message, and that's what we're sharing with you today, is a portion of the curriculum of that program that we teach. So that's the carpet cleaning story. That's where my heart is for you. No matter where you are on that spectrum, I know if you're on top of the game, you've been at the bottom. I know that about you. There's nobody that's on the top of the game in any kind of entrepreneurial circle that has not been on the bottom. It does not happen. I've never met one, and I've met thousands. So if you're at the bottom right now, there's nothing but the top to get to. And if you're killing it right now, think back about when you're at the bottom and just commit that you're never going to be there again. That's all I'm freaking never going to be at that. I'm never going to let that happen again. Okay, so that's my heart. We're going to invite Jake up here. Everybody, a round of applause for Jake. Yay! Jake's going to tell you the camera story.
Heck yes. So, like Nick said, super important to get real with you guys, because just like throughout our entire careers, we've messed up a lot, and really is a big deal if we go through this. We want you guys to get the maximum amount of value out of this, and the best way to do that is if you really like us. So if I share this story, all I'm asking is that please, will you guys be open to communicating and contributing and participating throughout the rest of the event. Okay, yes?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so I want you to imagine a kid who's 21 years old, and he goes to work every day, and his job is to stand at some table like this, and he presses a pedal, and then he puts a bag up, and a pound of sugar drops into it. And he does that every day for 10 hours a day. Okay, that was my life at one point, not too long ago. And throughout that job, I was making a little bit less than $10 an hour, and life was not great. On top of not making a lot of money, I was also a father of 2 kids, and I had just recently gone through a divorce, and I got full custody of my 3-year-old son and my 18-month-old daughter. And it was a pretty hard time in my life, if you could imagine, just figuring out like how do I provide for them, and you know what's the end goal here? Like I can't move fast enough with this current job. And one of the things that was left behind in the divorce was a camera that I'd bought my ex-wife. And in my free time after work, I was going and I was just making videos, like documenting this time in my life, but through like just capturing moments with the kids. And it's one day, if you guys are lucky enough, maybe if you come into our program, I'll show you some of those vlogs. They are so depressing. You will literally cringe the entire time. But throughout making these little videos of the kids, someone reached out to me and said, "Hey, I really like your videos. Would you want to film my wedding?" And I was like, absolutely yes. Like, this thing has been bringing me so much joy and happiness. Like, I could do that for you, could capture like an awesome moment for you, and like, absolutely. And you want to pay me for it? Like, yes, absolutely. So I filmed this wedding, and I was so excited, and I didn't even want to open the envelope after. They paid me before I even edited the video for them, and they put it in an envelope, and I said, I'm not going to open this envelope till after I edit this video. And when I opened it, there was more money than what I told them, what I originally charged them. And the amount of money that was in there was more than I made in a week of dumping sugar in a bag every day, being away from my kids for 40 hours, and needing to be there for them full time. And that happened on a Saturday, and I had work on Monday again. I remember I was driving, and instead of going to work, I went to this stupid little breakfast joint, and I just sat there all day. And I pretended I was at work, and my kids were at home with my mom. And I just made a decision there. I was like, I'm never going to go back to that job. I'm only going to capture moments for people for the rest of my life, or I'm going to help them capture moments through video. And because the experience I had from them, the reaction that I got, just documenting the special moment in their life and something that meant a lot to them, and just the feeling that everyone got in the transaction, essentially, it was the best feeling I ever had in my life. And that day, I never went back. And as you saw, I will talk about it later, but fast forward, I've been able to work with a lot of really amazing people, a lot of just everyday business owners and entrepreneurs, but I've also been able to work with a lot of influencers and people who are absolutely the top of the game in creating social video, creating content, creating video content. I've worked with probably the best in almost every industry, major industry, that you could work with. And I've seen how they create stuff. And I've seen what works. And I've seen and like really what makes video take off for them and how they be the best version of themselves on camera. And after going through that, which we'll get into it more, but that is a huge part of how we created this program and how we created what we're doing with Money and Message, is we've taken all of the best things that have worked with the best people that have figured it out. And it's not rocket science, but it takes a little bit, and all they did was just commit to the process of everything that we're going to teach you. And that truly is why they are where they are in their market this day and age, and why they're doing so well, and why their businesses are thriving, and why they love all the experiences that they have, and why they document it, and why it's not a burden on them to document it, and why it's not a burden to create social video for them, and why it's actually the biggest part and the most exciting part of their business. And so that's a little bit of my story and why we're here today, and what we're going to teach you today. And we love this. Like, we love helping entrepreneurs and business owners just like us. And that's why we're here today. So thank you guys.
All right, it's important that we start off this way. It really does take a little bit of tact. We're gonna dive into some deep things. We can't tell you about social video without telling you how humanity really works. We wanted to share a little bit with you, but we're here to have fun. This is not gonna be a bog in the mud the whole time emotionally. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So we're about to shift from first gear into third and then to fifth and just like go for it, okay? Because we got a limited amount of time here. But here's what I wanna say. What difference would it make to you? Okay, like we're not concerned that much about the, like, it sounds a little cliche, especially if you're hurting for money, but it's really, like, it's only about the money when you don't have enough money, right? After that, it's like, okay, you can meet your needs. Like, Jake and I are not concerned with that. When we meet somebody, we're like, okay, like, if you just do what's required, you can meet your needs. Yes, you can get 1 to 3 additional qualified leads every single month through your social media. Like, that's totally, might seem impossible to you, and we're not trying to belittle what you might have to go through or change or any struggle you get there, but it's nothing to us. Like, we're just like, yes, this can happen for anybody. We know that, we're gonna tell you that, it's gonna promise that, okay? Like, get your social video game dialed in, in like the, I can't pay my bills, that will go away, okay? If you're in that situation. What if you're not in that situation? That's what I really wanna talk about. Or what if you can just dream a little bit past that situation where you're like, what difference would it really make for you if you could, where is it? Pull this magical little device out of your pocket, okay? Steve Jobs changed the world with this little thing, and he really, really did. Right? Because right now in your pocket, you have a film camera, you have an editing studio, you have a broadcast studio, you have your own radio station, you've got your own website, you've got your own newspaper, you've got everything in the world you could ever do, and the most important thing you have on here is a little inbox into every freaking person on the planet. You've got their email address. It's called direct messages in Facebook, and send them a message and connect with them, right? You can connect with everybody on the planet. Now, they might ignore you, but there's not a Instagram account on the planet that doesn't have a DMs, right? I can Facebook message anybody. They might block me. They might tell me to go away. But I can hit them up, and I can probably get them a message, and if I'm relevant, I can change my life, right? This device is what we're here to talk about, okay? Because the number one thing you need to just do is this and change the world, okay? It's beta. It's got this sweet camera up here. Jake's got a sweet camera. He's got like 9,000 things of camera. We shoot a lot of video in crazy environments with all this lighting, and none of it matters to anything to you. This is what matters. This is what matters. Look at that little thing. Not here. This little thing, right? The camera part, where it looks like you're looking into their eyes, and you say, hey, I'm this person, I've got a message, I've got an intention to change the world. That's what we're here to talk about, how we can do that. We've got a really limited amount of time to do that, and so we're going to start talking really fast. And a couple of things about that. Number one, we haven't even checked in, Brandon, like we're going to end at 4, right? Do we got to get out of here at 4? We're fine to stay. Like, if you got questions, come up and ask us afterwards. You can hit us up, we'll give you contact information. Like, if you just missed a part of it, just write it down. Don't worry about like getting every little part of it academically. Worry about changing your heart. We've got a whole presentation of this exact thing canned, and you can watch that if you want to. Like, if you missed anything academically, don't worry about it. We can get it to you. What we want you to be dialed in with is your heart and your intention to change the world through being famous for being you, okay? So what difference would it make for you if you could pull this thing out of your pocket and somebody saw it and somebody hit you up and said, I like what you have to say, can we talk? And then now that person's in a house. And now that person gave you a commission because they're in a house. Or they have a mortgage from you. And they're paying you, I don't know how you get paid for mortgages, you get paid up front every month or whatever, but it's like, this is pretty cool, right? Somebody's making money every month. I don't know who the heck it is, but somebody's making money every month. But like in business, we exchange, the currency of business is what? Money. The way we exchange value in business is called money, right? The way we exchange business and relationships, all kinds of crazy stuff. But the way we exchange value in business is through money. So if you help somebody and they don't give you any money, then that's great, and you can still help them and start a thing. But if you're continually helping people and they're not giving you money, you don't really have a business. You have a charity service, or you have an education firm, or you got something, but you don't got a business, right? Because business needs to exchange value through the currency of cash, right? And people love doing that. Who in here likes to buy stuff? You go to the store? Like, you know, like if you buy something, what do you like to buy? What's your favorite store? If you're going to go to the store right now, where'd you go? You got a cash full of pocket, you're going to go, where are you going to go? Right in the back, and then up to you if you're okay. The green shirt in the back. What store did you go to? Costco. What are you going to buy at Costco? Yeah, like a giant bag of M&Ms or something, or like a TV or a computers. Okay, cool. He gets a bag of cash, going down to whip out that executive black card and log into Costco. Love it. Okay, right here in the blue wonderful suits. Yes, go ahead.
Dog treats.
Dog treats. These are surprised. Love this.
I work with dog rescues, so.
You work with a dog rescue.
Several of them, yeah.
Oh wow, right. This is, you want to bring happiness to somebody else, right? So to go get the giant bag of M&Ms or a new computer or a dog treat at Costco, you know you have to take money out of your checking account, right? That money leaves your account every time you do that. People got a problem spending money. We do it all day. We love it. Maybe, oh no, it's so hard to get money. It's not hard to get money. It's just sometimes hard to restructure the value proposition so that what you offer them looks like a big bag of M&Ms or a computer or a dog treat, right? And for every single person, that's individual, okay? So what we're talking about, that's what difference it would make. Confidence, certainty, happiness, enjoyment, less stress, more opportunity to impact the world, more freedom to do what you want. Lo and behold, hey, Brandon's in the back of the room. I know, but if you really had it rocking, you also might, hey, maybe a little side hustle starts up, right? Maybe you do some other fun speaking tour. Maybe you become Oprah, right? Like, who knows? But when you want to have the choice, right, that's the difference it makes. As soon as the bills are met, it's not about that anymore. And if you get on the roller coaster of meeting your bills so that you can get a higher bill payment every month by getting renting the next fantasy up, we cannot help you with that. But if you're certain with what you want and the lifestyle you want, that's social video is what it's all about. It's like one of those weird things. It's got to be about something. And as weird as it might be when you got up this morning, we're here to convince you with every single thing that we've got that the answer to all your problems is getting really good at social video. I don't know why that's what it is, but that's what it is because we live in 2020 and that's the world we're living in, okay? So here we go. We got 3 secrets for you today. What are secrets? Are just things that most people aren't focusing on, right? This is not a real secret because everybody that's kicking butt does this. But it is something that people are not focusing on, that you might not be focusing on, that we want to key you in on. We've got 3 of these principles here today. Number 1, why our clients make more in a year focusing on social video than most entrepreneurs do in 5 years focusing on marketing. We'll give you a hint as to why this thing is true because most people don't make jack in 5 years focusing on marketing. They don't make anything. They spend more than they make. I was there for a long time. I spent way more in ads than I ever got back, right? For a lot of people, it doesn't work. For a lot of people, it's working okay, but you're not really sure because you don't know the numbers, you don't have to track that. Or for some people, the few, it's absolutely kicking butt, and they're making a ton of money off of it, right? So we want to get you from one group to the other, right? That's number 1. It's not that it's better than marketing. It is the gateway to marketing. It's the thing that makes marketing work. It's getting really good at social video. You can either, I think it's on here. I won't talk ahead. Anyway, let's keep in order here. Number 2, how to make your everyday life seem incredibly interesting just like famous people do. Who in here just watches some kind of, whether it's on TV or the internet or Instagram, just follow some other person that's interesting? You. What's your name?
Teresa.
Teresa, and who do you follow?
J-Lo.
J-Lo. Yes. Okay, great. What do we know about J-Lo? Same thing we know about Channing Tatum, right? She wrote a song about it. I think she's probably sincere. She really is just Jenny from the block, right? That's who she is. She's got a lot of money. She's got a lot of skills. She's got a lot of connections. But at the end of the day, she's Jenny from the block. So why do you follow her?
Her skills inspire me, like what she does. Like
What type of skills specifically?
how she can move and how she, I don't know, how she moves, like seriously. Like,
Yeah.
I'm old like her, so I admire her, like, I don't know, you listen too fast.
Yeah, this.
Old like her? I'm old like her. I'm like, wait a minute. So like she inspires
Experienced like her, right? Okay, here's what we're really getting at, right? This is the key to celebrity. When you see J-Lo dance, do you say, I want to learn how to do that dance step, and then you start practicing? Is that what it is for you? Like you want to know how to do a specific dance move? Or is it something else? What else is it? You can't explain it. Could I take a crack at it? It's like she's kicking butt, she's doing whatever the heck she wants, she's 50 years old, and she's just giving a middle finger to whatever somebody says she cannot do, and I can freaking kick butt if I want to. And maybe it's not to that level, but whatever level I got in my brain, I'm freaking doing it because she did it, I can do it too. Does this sound something like that?
Yes, because I am opening up an auto body shop next month.
Yeah. What the heck does dancing have to do with the auto body shop? Everything. Everything to do with it, right? Certainty.
And
Okay.
That, yes.
Okay, like here's where we got to like, this is the academic part. You got to use your brain. You got to lock in exactly what she said, because I'm not going to get back around to it for like 40 minutes. But when we get back around, it's going to be like the light bulb goes off, okay? What she just said. I don't care about dancing in particular. But when I watch her dance, I feel like I could open up a body shop. That's auto body shop, excuse me, an auto body shop, yes. Back where I'm from, that was the only kind of body shop we had. So anyway, we assume that's what you're talking about. I don't know. So anyway, I didn't grow up in Vegas, right? I grew up in Bluffdale, Utah. So that was what we were talking about when we said body shop. So, all right, okay? Can you lock that in? That's like key. Can't explain it to you right now. Like we got to go put in all the other programming and and then push enter, and all of a sudden the truth is going to pop out. It's just what she said, okay? Because it answers the question. All I do is sell houses. Who cares? All J-Lo does is dance. Who cares? How many people are on the internet that dance right now that don't have any followers? Nobody cares about them. Nobody watches their stuff, and they're a way better dancer than J-Lo is. Probably 2 million or 10 million, and we've got one right here in the front row. Let's see it. Let's go right here. Tamara, raise your hand. Okay, cool. So, can you see that though? J-Lo is not the best dancer in the world. I would venture to say there's probably 1,000 50-year-old women who can dance better than her. And they have no following. Nobody cares about them. They're not impacting the world. And certainly, nobody on the planet is going to get inspiration to go open up an auto body shop because of the videos that they're producing that nobody's watching, right? This is why I'm telling you, it's a rough game in social media. It's like, oh, it's social, it's like with my friends. And then as soon as you get past your little friend group, it's more like the playground where you got made fun of and kicked in the face and rejected. And you can't be part of the cool kids club. And you're a loser, right? And so Jake and I are just like, shh, darn it. This is so hard. So do we just accept it and stay where we are? Or do we do like J-Lo did and say, hey, you know what? You can say whatever you want about me. I'm going to go do the Super Bowl halftime show the way I want to do it. Yeah, say whatever you want about me. I read a little bit back when Shakira first put out her first album. Shakira and J-Lo did the Super Bowl this year. And Shakira said, I got kicked out of my high school choir class because my choir teacher told me I sing like a goat. What's the truth if you listen to her albums? She kind of sounds like a goat. It's not true, right? If I was in a negative state of mind, and if she was weak, and if I was a terrible person, I could listen to her sing and I said, so you should never sing because you sound like a goat. I'm capable of that because that's what she is. Why does she sound like Shakira and sell millions of records? And she's got every record up on the wall and she don't care about the thing? Because she owned her voice. And she said, hey, you know what, this goat voice? I'm going to change the world. I'm going to do what I can do. And I was like dating me because Jake doesn't even know who Shakira is because he's like, you know. Anyway, when that first album came out, I was living in Arizona. It was hot as heck like it was here. And there was just some weird connection for a Utah kid living in the sun. And that was like the album for me. And I love Shakira. And I'm like, I'm a guy. And anyway, I'm owning it. I think I could go start an auto body shop because I'm listening to the Shakira song and I'm loving it, right? Okay, there we go. Okay, how to make your everyday life seem incredibly interesting, just like famous people do, right? Okay, great. The third thing, how to start getting results now, even if you're only getting a handful of likes or comments on your posts, okay? Anyone ever post anything, you think it's a really good video, and then like, you're like friend zone's the only people that comment, you're like, thanks, Mom. Yeah. Thanks. Love that video. Or a bunch of people say, this is the greatest thing ever. Cool. So what? I was trying to sell a house through this, and you didn't do it, right? Like, what's the point of all this stupid stuff on social video? Why do I do all this stuff? I put so much into this. I'm not selling houses. We're not transacting with money. We're transacting with likes and comments and shares and inspiration and posts, but no money's going anywhere. Like, okay, how do we get this with business, right? Okay, this is the things we're here to show you. So show of hands. Everyone out there, challenge for you, everyone on the live stream, just raise your hand, even if you're alone in your office. We're going to hold you to it. If we accomplish these 3 things over the next however much time we have until 4 o'clock, would that be worth it for you? Raise your hand. Okay, great. Everyone on the live stream, I assume you raise your hand. If not, turn off your computer, please. Go do something else. Just kidding around. We're going to crush it today. Okay, here we go. Secret number 1, why do clients make more in a year focusing on social video than most entrepreneurs do in a year focusing on marketing? I didn't even read that all, but we're in it for it. Okay? This like traditional marketing is getting old fast. It's like this this grumpy guy. It's kind of grumpy right now. Like, what do I mean by traditional marketing? What I mean is you set up a funnel, and then you run ads to that funnel, and then you have an opt-in page, and you have a little free thing where somebody can come get a quote from you, and then you do the same thing that 9,000 other people in the valley are doing, and you put a bunch of money into that until it works. Like anybody, and then it doesn't, right? Like you ever hired anybody to do that marketing, or you went to a class and learned how to do it yourself, and you spend on things? Okay, that does work. It totally works. It just works a lot better for certain people than it does other people. And we're here to give you the tip-off that the people that it works for are people that are taking all of that stuff, they're doing the same opt-in form as you are, they give the same quotes, they've got access to the same MLS, they sell houses at the same percentage, they're kicking butt, you're not. It's because they have presence. And some people have presence through reality, through networking, through having huge events, through getting the referral base just maximized. You can do it that way. It's great. You can also do it through video, right? Who in here gets a lot of business from referrals? Gets a lot of business from referrals. Why do referrals work? Let's go right here. What's your name?
Monica.
Monica. In your opinion, why do referrals work so well?
Because I have the past client who was happy with my service, so they refer new business, who's also happy, and that continues.
Yeah. So somebody comes over and says, Monica's awesome, she sold my house, you should meet him. They come in, you are awesome, and the deal's done, right? That's all it takes. Why does marketing not work that way? Because I don't know who you are. I can't tell if you're a real person or not. I got hosed by this in the past. And you're not giving me one single thing that's different than anybody else out there to say that you're not the next hoser in my life, right? You're the one that's going to hose me, okay? And it's not just with real estate. It's cumulative. With every single dumb thing they ever opted in to get. With everything that somebody told them they were going to do and didn't do. That's what you're up against when you're asking with just a traditional marketing method, okay? So was it work? Okay, here we go. Here's a question. Who in here watches a fair amount of TV? If you're a TV fan, raise your hand. None, because you're all realtors, right? Okay. What's your name, gentlemen?
Todd.
Todd. Okay, what's your favorite show on TV? What is the show you're just binging right now?
Any cooking show.
Cooking show. Cool. How and like Bake Off or something, you know, like the Great British Bake Off, that kind of stuff, or like more like How to Cook.
More barbecue stuff.
More barbecue stuff. There we go. There we go. Okay, cool. Where do you watch your barbecue stuff? Like Netflix, or like you just have a cable channel, or what are you doing? Hulu. Okay, cool. During that, do you sit and watch commercials? There's no commercials. Oh, they don't even have them anymore. They're not on the platform. I can pay $7.95 a month and get commercials freaking out of my life. How many of you are doing that right now? I'm doing it. Does anybody like commercials? When was the last time I watched a commercial that was not the Super Bowl? It's been years, honestly, right? And what's the only thing left that people are profitably selling through commercials? Beer and Doritos. I don't know. That's the things you can sell with commercials like that. I don't know. It's never ending, right? Those are the cockroaches of advertising, right? They just never die. You can always sell beer and Doritos through commercials. So why is it that you don't watch commercials anymore? Because you don't have to. I don't have to. I had to watch them because I couldn't time my thing right. You know, everyone remember there, like back before Jake was born, and you like were watching network TV because that was what was on, and you're like, I'm going to skip this dumb commercial. I'm really, really into this sitcom. I'm going to go do the dishes or do something active because I'm not sitting through those dumb commercials anymore. And then you come back and the joke's over and the whole thing. And you're like, okay, gosh, I'm just going to watch the dumb commercials, right? This is how life used to be, okay? Right? You don't have to. Well, guess what? Your prospects don't have to watch your commercials either. They can go check you out. And they can go figure out if you're a real person or if you're just some realtor who paid somebody to pay a beautiful website for them, right? And they want to work with a real person. That's why they do it with referrals, because they can bypass all the garbage, i.e. commercials, and get to the real person and say, are you real? Are you cool? Are you interesting? Are you nice? Are you weird? Are you going to be creepy when I come around? Like, do you know anything about houses? Did you start yesterday? If you did start yesterday, are you awesome? Or are you just someone that's like broke and looking for a job? Like, who are you, right? I can't tell that through your commercial, okay? So I'm not saying that advertising doesn't work. I'm saying that what happens is that I see your ad on TV, and then what am I going to do? It's on Facebook. I can either click your thing, that says, sign up for my free 7-step guide. Or maybe before I go do that, maybe I might just click on your profile and see if you're a real person, right? So what does your social profile look like right now? Is it awesome? Does it look like you're a celebrity? Does it look like you're doing cool things with cool people? Does it look like your network? Is there client success stories on there? Or is it like, I'm a realtor and I sit around in my house and here's a picture of what I ate last night? If that's what it is, then they're probably going to say, I think I'll just skip the commercial. I think I won't click on your ad. Or maybe I'll go to your website and charge you $3.75 for the dumb click and then not do anything from there, right? Even worse, right? Even worse, they do click on the ad and then decide you're really not cool, okay? This is why we spent so much time up front. We love you guys. We're 100% committed that you can do this. We've watched an embarrassingly amount of people through this process that believed that they could not do it. And they can do it, right? The first time it comes out, I can't do this. You can do it. Famous for being you, okay? Do people believe that? I just wanted a little gut check. That Jennifer Lopez is actually just J-Lo from Jenny from the Block. In her mind, you know what wealthy people, especially ones that aren't quite dialed in, like Jake and I've worked with a lot of people that seem exceedingly wealthy. Like and some of them money-wise are. They're not always wealthy in their spirit. And you know what they're actually thinking? I hope nobody finds out I'm actually a regular person. I hope this game never ends and somebody realizes I'm just Jenny from the Block. Like, I'm faking it. I'm not really an interesting person. I'm a normal person. I feel like the same person I was in high school, and I hope all these people never find out, right? That's what's going on in everything, okay? So we don't want that type of fraud. We want the real thing. We want the thing that says, hey, man, I'm still Jenny from the Block. I just got 2 to 3 additional listings every single month from my social media. And you can be Jenny from the Block that has 2 or 3 additional clients every month, right? Or you could do whatever you want with it. That's what we're talking about. They don't have to see your stuff. They're going to come check you out, okay? Here we go. Social video is the train to the promised land. And it's this kind of train. It's not the old locomotive, right? And so the good thing is it can take you there fast. The bad thing is it's leaving the station in I can't do anything about that. I'm not smart enough to change the way that the world works. I'm not smart enough to outsmart Mark Zuckerberg in whatever the heck he wants to do with Facebook, right? Or whatever people want to do with Facebook, or whatever people want to do with YouTube. All I know is that this is where the future is going. This is where the train's going. And this is where we're saying you can do it. I'm not here to depress you. We're here to tell you the truth. If you don't get on this train, it's going to be really hard. You're going to be standing at a station with a few friends and family and a referral base, kind of wondering if you want to go do something else, right? And I've been there. Jake's been there. You know what it's like to be a marketing person that doesn't know how to market yourself? It sucks. I've been standing on that train station. You know what it was that made the difference for me? It wasn't any of this stuff. It was getting out of my freaking comfort zone and going to networking with people. And just going out there and saying, hey, I'm worth your time. You should come do this with me. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Okay, so now we're going to get into some academic stuff, okay? A little bit of a fast forward. We're a little bit jolty here because we have so much intention we're going to get at. Here is, I'll give you all these slides. So if you're a writer because it locks in, great. If you're writing it down only because you think you're not going to get it later, we'll give you the whole slide deck. Don't worry about cramping your hand through all this, okay? Ways to get more followers. If you just need more followers, I don't have that many followers. These are there's not a secret magic way you can do it. These are the ways that you can do it. If anybody tells you it's something, they've got some whiz-bang thing, would you agree? They're lying.
Yes.
They're hosing you.
Yes.
They're getting ready to hose you, and they're wondering if you'll give them money in order to do it.
And their name is probably Ruan.
Strike that from the record. It's a different Ruan. A different Ruan. Anyway, organic likes and shares and comments. Just get better at getting stuff, and people like and share your stuff, and Facebook likes that, and people might see it, and if you share it, and somebody shared your post, then they might need to buy a house, and you can do that, right? Organic stuff. Organic means it happened naturally, right? It's just your hard work and effort. Number 2 is you can start using some relevant hashtags, right? Instagram is dominated by hashtags. Facebook's just starting to play catch up because Instagram's getting more popular than Facebook. They bought them. They're trying to get slow to the game, and they're kind of like the non-cool kids party. But Facebook, hashtags are starting to work on Facebook, right? That's another way that you can just go play the game. Get on some relevant hashtags and put something that's really, really relevant to hashtags. Anyone here has no clue what I'm talking about with hashtags? Everybody knows what it is. You've been trained on it. You do it. Okay, cool. These are like you can go out and you can get a hoe and you can crops in the ground and you can start watering them with a bucket, right? These are the things that you can do and you should do and you must do. You have to do these things. There is no bypassing the harvest to get to the harvest, the planting, right? You cannot harvest the thing you did not plant, okay? You have to do those things. Number 3, influencers tag you in sharing your stuff, okay? So somebody that's you've got 10 followers, they've got 100,000, and they say, Tamara's awesome. That could do something for you, right? Okay? How might we make that happen? Well, good thing we've got a whole third of this is, the third is about that, right? Okay, ads specifically targeted getting you more subscribers. Okay, not ads that are targeted at getting you to go away from Facebook to opt in on your thing. Guess what? Mark Zuckerberg doesn't like that. That's why it costs $303.79 a click to get them to do that, because they're now leaving Facebook. And Mark doesn't make money when they're off Facebook. He makes money when they're on Facebook, right? Ads to do that make a ton of sense when you have enough ad budget to afford $3.79 a click and you can turn a profit on it. That's when you should do ads. Before that, it makes life difficult, right? Makes life really hard. So, and then the last one, the algorithm starts promoting you get into the jet stream, right? Who here uses Instagram? Who's like crushes on Instagram? Your name?
Aaron.
Aaron, okay. What happens if I click the search, the little magnifying glass on Instagram?
You can search people's names, accounts, hashtags, find places.
Yeah, you can go find a bunch of stuff. And what's right under the search bar?
Oh gosh, can I look it up?
You can look it up. What's that?
Not that.
Discovery. All the crap that they're going to say, based on who I think you are, here's all the stuff that you should look at, right? And if you're one of those, and you're consistently one of those, then you can like escape gravity and be in orbit and be traveling around the Earth at 550,000 miles an hour or whatever the space shuttle does, right? It's hard to do that if you're in the Earth's atmosphere. Planes only go like 500 miles an hour and those space shuttles are going like 5,000 because there's no gravity up there, right? That's kind of the Oprah style thing. That's like way over there. That's not what we're going to train you on, especially not if you're focused on real estate, which we're all going to do here. That's not your goal, but those are the 5 ways you can get it, okay? Everybody got it? Any questions on these? If anybody's telling you, this may not be the sexiest part, but if you're out there and some ad guru is trying to tell you they got a secret whiz-bang thing and it doesn't match up with one of these, I wouldn't hire them. To be nice, that's all I say. I wouldn't hire them. I'd think twice because they might not be doing it in a way that works, okay? So, look, here's the impact scale of what this happens. Okay? So we got 5 ways. I just want to give you a graphic that those 5 ways are not equal, right? There's a gap between right here and here. If you, again, I keep saying this, if there's only one thing I could teach you, and this is the third one thing I could teach you, is life down here is hard, and it kind of feels frustrating. And life up here is fun, and it kind of feels amazing. How do you get there? That's what entrepreneurialism is all about. There's a cool kids club. How do I get in it, right? And in a social way, you don't really want to get in it, right? But there is a group of realtors, I guarantee you, in Las Vegas who are totally networked, who are totally kicking butt, who are living the life that you want to. And there's a little club of them. And if you are part of that club, you get the benefits. And if you don't, you're out, right? Like, and that's how it is. Maybe it was inspired you to go create your own cool kids club and screw them, right? I'm going to go do my own. You don't have to join their club. You can go create your own, right? But the point is, they've crossed the gap, and they get to live the life of crossing the gap. And when we're on the other side of the gap, we can say whatever we want about them, and we can moan and complain, and we can belittle them, and we can say whatever we want about how they got there. But we can't go live the life that they live, right? That's how society works. So at some point, you got to say, okay, I just want to get up there. I just want to make it. Okay, so here we go. So anyway, baseball fans in here, you guys got a minor league team?
Yep.
Who are they? The Aviators. Okay, I'm not sensing as much love for the Aviators as I sense for the Knights. The Golden Knights. The Aviators. Okay, cool. Where's the Aviators Stadium at? Summerlin. Is it a cool stadium?
Yeah.
It's cool. How many people are at a game on a given Wednesday night? None, few thousand. There's like 80 more games left, right? Right? Okay. So, baseball example, this is like playing in the minors, and this is like playing in the majors. Who actually played baseball? Any baseball players? You played baseball? What level? High school?
Yes.
College baseball? Okay. So if you're in minor league baseball, what's the goal? To get to the majors. Playing minor league baseball sucks as far as a daily reality, right? Nobody in the minors has the goal of being the best home run hitter in the history of the minor leagues. I'm the best on-base percentage in AA ball ever. Nobody's doing that. The only reason is because they still have a dream that they could make it to the majors, right? The reason to do this is to do this, okay? So a little bit of a graphic here. Here's a wonderfully talented guy who's played in front of 26 fans, kicking butt, getting on base, and I believe that's Yasiel Puig hitting a home run in the World Series. Which do you think is these guys having more fun? Right? This is like, we're all wonderful people. We're all nice, honest people. Most of us. Everyone in this room is. Not everyone in the world, but everyone in this room is. But you can just like give yourself a little bit of like leverage or a little bit of leeway to say this, yeah, heck yeah. I just want to like, dude, yeah, like I might be old, I might be beaten down, I might be whatever. But I want to do that. I want to hit that home run and I want to have fun. Whatever that means to you, right? That's why we're here. That's why we're here. We're in the minors so we can go to the majors, okay? So here we go. Getting good at social video is your ticket to the big leagues. I know it's a different city. I know you guys probably, maybe there's a bunch of LA haters here. I don't know, but I thought that picture was great. That's what we're wanting. You want a picture like that and say, my life looks like that. That's what my life looks like. Doesn't matter to what scale, doesn't matter what house you live in, doesn't matter whether you're, what those parameters are, but when you look at your life, it looks like that. That's what we want for you, okay? Whatever the majors means to you, you're living it. And that could mean a very, very simple lifestyle with enough money to make your mortgage payment and take your kids to school or whatever it is, and your life looks like that. Fantastic. Nobody can tell you otherwise, right? You're a realtor that wants to open up an auto body shop, go for it. That's your dream. But when you look at your dream, it looks like that, okay? That's what we're talking about. Okay, number 2, we're going to turn it over to Jake here. How to make your everyday life seem to be incredibly interesting, just like famous people do. Number 1, you can hire Jake, because he can just do it for you. But Jake's not always around, dang it. And he's can only film one person at a time. So far, we haven't been able to clone him. But we're going to talk about this. He does this better than anybody else, does it more naturally than anybody else. And he's young, which is a really, really advantage to understanding how this game actually works, okay? So with that, we're going to come up, and Jake's going to tell you what it really means to be famous for being you. We're going to go through a bunch of slides. I might have changed the order on him, so I'll stand by and
yeah, I'm just gonna
confuse him.
Oh, are we starting this?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
We'll do that in just a second. Just
Awesome.
talking about the famous for being me.
Okay. So, it's a lot of people that I've been around, they have this, I don't want to jump into it. There's a part of me where I'm like, I'm almost getting a feeling that this jumping into the video might be a better start.
We're going for the video. Perfect. On cue, we're going to watch a Mr. Rogers video. Who likes Mr. Rogers in here? Okay, why in the world are we showing you Fred Rogers video, okay?
Now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it.
Okay, can't unsee it. He's got to go with Fred Rogers thing first. Here's the thing, okay? It would be my contention that whether you know who Fred Rogers is or not, that he would be maybe in the top 1% of people that ever impacted anybody's life through staring at a video camera. Okay? Who here watched this show? I did, right? And Mr. Rogers is if you've seen either of the documentaries, which is this is just a little snip from one of the documentaries, very, very nice person, very easygoing, and incredibly ruthless in getting his message across. I am going to reach these kids. I'm going to get the funding for it. I'm going to demand that the studio is set up a certain way. I'm going to talk about these topics. I don't care what the network says, right? So in one way, he's a real nice guy. In one way, he's the guy you don't want to mess with because he's got a mission and he's going to do it. And that's what you all can take advantage of, okay? We're not showing you the videos of all the cool people that you might think of when you're thinking of these social media. We're going to show you some Mr. Rogers here, okay? I want you to key in on what he says, and then I want somebody to summarize how it is that you could look into the camera and capture the real you. Because we might as well shut up because he's going to give you the secret in however long this video is. I think it's like 90 seconds. 54 seconds.
Fred's theology was love your neighbor and love yourself. And he saw that communication as the most deeply spiritual thing that he could be doing.
When I look at the camera, I think of one person. Not any specific person, but one person. It's very, very personal. The space between the television screen and whoever happens to be receiving it, I consider that very holy ground. A lot happens. A lot happens there.
What did you guys get out of that? What's Fred Rogers' secret for connecting with his audience?
Cares,
One-on-one connection. Yes. What's we got here?
cares about.
Cared about his audience. What else? Anything else you guys picked up? What did he specifically say? If Fred was not in a studio in Pittsburgh, but it was here in 2020, what did he say about this space right here?
It's holy.
This is sacred ground right here. How many of you ever thought about that ever when you started doing your Facebook video, right? Okay, one thing we'll tell you about actors is that mediocre actors are interested in acting, and great actors have this sacred respect for their audience. I'm coming to work today to give you an experience. Anyone in here follow Dwayne Johnson The Rock on Instagram? There's a reason he's the king of Instagram. He loves his audience. He is 100% dedicated to your experience when you go sit and pay $15. I was about to say $5, but that would have been a long time ago. $15 to see a movie, right? You've now given him something sacred, okay? So this is what we're talking about. When you pull out your Facebook video, again, we're not trying to be harsh, we're just trying to tell you the truth. If you're focused on, do I look like an idiot? Am I going to stumble? Am I going to be dumb? Am I going to what are people going to say about me? Then you're going to be a mediocre actor. And if you're pulling this thing out and saying, I don't care what anybody thinks about me, I'm committed to looking through that lens and helping somebody buy the house of their dreams. I'm committed to that. I'm going to do that. I don't care what you say about me, for the J-Lo example, right? I'm going to do that. I'm going to be a 50-year-old who's dancing on the Super Bowl. And that's the sacred ground, okay? So that's what we talk about. Sacred ground, famous for being me. Speak to the one. Should I tell the esthetician I cannot say that word, which is why I put it up there? Should I tell it now or later?
I think it's a good time to tell.
Okay, we're going to tell now. Okay, I put this up there because literally every single time I do this presentation, I forget to tell the story, and it's one of my favorite stories, and I kick myself every time afterward. Okay, so we actually have there was a program we were previously involved with called Shield Maiden, and some of these wonderful ladies have been there. And we were teaching, I used to teach marketing at that program, right? Some marketing aspects. And there was this lady, she's an esthetician, which I think means they do something with your skin, right? Like make your skin look better or something. And she was amazing, but she could not talk into the camera. She could not do it. And it could not break her down. Like I'm trying to put on my bad cop and I can't break her down. She's like, I'll leave. Like she couldn't do it. Like, okay, this is really weird. Couldn't get it. So I could just, okay, I'm like, what? You don't want to do intuition. Okay, do fine, do whatever you want. I come back in 15 minutes later. Okay, instead of shooting a video for public, could you go shoot, who is a client that you have right now? Because she wanted to launch this she's doing this high-end stuff for all these fancy people. And she's like, I know how to help teenage girls improve their skin wherever they are. Like I know how to do it. And that's my real passion. I want to help a girl who's 13 years old, who's getting made fun of, who would never in her life have enough money to come pay me. That's who I want to chart this channel for. I'm like, okay, cool. Do you know any of them? Yes, Cheryl. Cheryl's this girl in my town. Okay, cool. Will you please, or I'm going to kick you out, go shoot a video for Cheryl and bring it back. And she brings back this most amazing video for Cheryl. And literally took her phone, chopped off the thing that said, hi, Cheryl, and we posted it to the public. And it's amazing. Why? Because she's not trying to shoot a video. She's just trying to communicate with Cheryl. And Cheryl happens to be a really good avatar or a really good stand-in, like he's talking about. I'm not thinking of one specific person, but I'm thinking of a person, and I'm communicating with that. Fred Rogers knows who he's trying to meet. He knows he knows what's going on in their life. He knows what's missing. He knows what's there. He knows what he can provide, and he's speaking to that one person. And suddenly, our esthetician, who could not do that, who refused to do that, went and did it because I tricked her into how to doing it because she didn't think she was doing it. What if you played that trick on yourself? What if you just permanently said, I'm not trying to be the coolest realtor in Las Vegas. I'm not trying to be a cool kid. I'm not trying to get good at technology. I'm not trying to keep up with the times. I'm just trying to pull my phone out and see if somebody out there could use the services that I have and connect with my market, and I know who that is. Or I'm committed to knowing who that is. And if I stumble and fail and I don't communicate the message very well, what does that mean? Does it mean you're a terrible person? Nope. Just like me sitting there with a carpet cleaning franchise, it just means you don't know how yet. And so you got to go get reps. You got to go turn the camera on a few more times. You got to do what we're going to teach you how to do today. All this stuff, okay? So this is what I want to do. When we say speak to the one, who in here feels like you could do that? You could pull out your phone and you could shoot a video to whoever your Cheryl is. Yeah. How many of you get on FaceTime with your kids already? Talk to your kids all night, day. Are you worried about it? Oh, the camera's on. Oh, it's blinking. Sorry. No, you're just like, hey, kids, what's up, dude? Hey, it's like really social. And all of a sudden, you think you're acting, and then all of a sudden, or presenting or marketing, and all of a sudden, freak out happens, right? So that's the esthetician story. We're going to talk about posts and turning them into episodes.
You're not going to show us the video?
I don't have it, and I don't have license to use it. I don't think she'd want me to use it. So I don't have that video for you. But I do hope, I should check in with her and see if she launched her program, and I would hope that the answer to that is yes. So Jack, do you want to run us through what we talking about? We're turning posts into episodes?
Yes.
Okay, so a little bit of a setup here, because I wrote this slide and I changed the title on them. A little bit of a setup here is, we're talking about acting class for entrepreneurs, right? Television shows, what do they have? A random bunch of posts? No. What do television? If you're watching a show, what's that? They have episodes, right? Episodes, right? Yeah, they're episodes. And they think of the episodes. And when they sit down with the writers group, is it just a blank slate? And they just say, let's brainstorm some episodes. What do you think they do? What would you guess happens in these types of rooms?
It's an arc. They thought it out.
They thought it out, and they're going to say, you know what? Hey, it's a new show. This other show kicked butt. Let's do what they did with different characters in a different scene, right? And let's make sure that the shows aren't always the same. Let's make sure that this show is really, really funny, and this one involves something that's romantic, and this one's like the heart wrencher, and this one's this. It's if you ever get into writer's room, which we've had an opportunity to be several times, it's almost depressingly not creative. It is very, very formulaic. So if there was a formula that worked, and we could just give it to you rather than sending you back home with a piece of paper and a blank slate, would you like that? Yeah, this is the formula. This is what, if we get into a writer's room and Jake and I are sitting in there and somebody is saying, I don't know what to talk about on social media, we're going to say, great, let's start creating some episodes and give you a really cool show. This is how we do it. I swear to you, if you just copy this down and go execute on it, you could send us a $10,000 check later.
So accurate. Yes. So yeah, there's most people go around, and I'm gonna ask after if anyone identifies or feels like this. Most people go around living their life like, you know, that's really cool that all of them are killing on social media and they're looking so interesting and being so sweet and doing the coolest dancing videos of all time. But my life's just not that interesting. Like, I'm just a realtor, or, you know, I'm just showing homes. Does anyone ever feel like that? I don't have content to put on social media. Yeah?
Yeah.
Couple people? Yeah. 2? So I'm assuming everyone else constantly posting on social media all the time and absolutely killing it.
And loving it with 100% certainty.
Yes. So there's a difference. I'm just going to go with maybe even just 50-50, assume that not everyone is doing that. So what makes people interesting? How do you become famous for being yourself? How do you captivate an audience? How do you make people want to follow you and always your content sucks them in? The easy way is to keep documenting, or to start documenting what's going on in your life, what interesting things are happening, not being repetitive every day. Most realtors that I follow, because I happen to follow a lot, because, well, we were coming to talk to a lot of them, let me tell you a day in the life of social media for them. Hey, it's Tuesday, so I have a sweet, awesome listing update. We have 50 million new listings, and it's so sweet, and it's like 300,000 something for this one. This is so sick. Like, and you know, that is not very interesting. Maybe if they actually said it like that, people would watch and be like, I just love how they don't care at all. But that's the vibe that I get. People just, and then it's like Wednesday, I'm showing a home today. It's, it's this great home. Like nothing, almost anyone that I picked out and followed, nothing really new, nothing really interesting. I'm like, where's the house that you walked in to do a showing and there's like 50 scorpions in the bedroom? Like, why is that not, where's the real stuff going on? Obviously a little exaggerated, but why are we not seeing like the real stuff that would make me want to come back for more, right? And so anyways, the main thing I'm saying here is just, it's there. This stuff does happen. We all have crazy stories. Everyone in here has been in a situation where you're telling someone a story and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have recorded that. I'll never say it again. But that was crazy. And they're like, yeah, you totally should have. You totally messed up and dropped the ball. You should record everything you do. So we can all agree that there are interesting things happening in our life, things going on, events that happen that could be really interesting that we probably miss. Does everybody agree that? We miss documenting it, showing it, and putting it out there in like a really cool way.
Well, I can tell you, it's personal.
Uh-huh.
I did, but I had a gastric sleeve done, not embarrassed to say. So that really brings a lot of people to my page when I talk about my surgery. And, you know what I mean, just everything that's happened since then to now. Like, I think I get more posts and more people coming to look for more things on my page because of that.
Yeah.
And then that's how I get more interaction, because they like my private life. Is that weird?
No, that's not weird at all. Who doesn't want, it's like, you could probably think of the person you know the least about that doesn't share anything. Everyone has this creepy guy in their neighborhood. At least I have a couple, not registered sex offender level, but they're pretty creepy. I'm like, I wish I could just know what that guy does. Like if I had enough time in the world, I'd go follow him, because it's like he doesn't talk about it. No one knows. He doesn't even know. He probably works at some secret awesome place. You start making up all these things. And what it gets people to, and what most people are playing at, this is the level most people are playing at. All of your following and people that are out there that know you or follow you or potentially following you or have come to your page, what are they waiting for? They're waiting for you to be real and to put content out there and to be interesting and to talk more and show more about your personal life, to connect more on a legitimate level of, hey, this person is real. I can connect with that. I can relate to that. I've been through this experience. I want to follow them. And so anyways, there's a lot going on there. But if you don't really know, if you just were like, okay, I don't know anything that goes on in my life. I don't know how to like categorize it to make it interesting. Get this slide from us. This will help you a ton. If you don't know, just go off of this. What's going on in my life that I could just, something could fall into one of these categories and you'll be set and you'll be on the road, be on that train, headed to the promised land. So, okay, this, you want to hit him with this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let's back up a little bit and talk through these just real quick. Again, I just want to understand what some of these are. So the thing is, like, when you got to there, what are you going to shoot? If you had to shoot a video right now, let's see, you right there, what's your name? Brandy. You're on the spot. You got to go shoot a real estate video right now. What's it going to be about? Give us pull out your phone. Where's your phone? Stick it in front of your face. You don't have to actually turn it on. Stick it in front of your face, because this is an example. On the spot. Out like this. Out like this. Turn it sideways so you can get this action. Act like your thumb's going to actually push the record button. Boom. Look into that little camera hole and just like, what's your video going to be about?
Hey everyone, I'm sitting here in this class learning how to shoot a video.
There we go.
You should be joining me right now.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. And then if you were like sitting there thinking in like marketing, you say hey, 7 things you can do to get a better credit score right now without paying your bills, right? Or something like this. Like, the number one thing you can do to increase your credit score is pay your bills on time for a long time. Anyone ever seen that old show, Liar, Liar, right? He picks up the phone. Your client wants some advice. And stop breaking the law, right? That's his advice. So, anyway, the 7 steps to this, or the 9 steps to this, or 3 ways that you can do this, or the secret to this, or whatever. You know what I mean? This is what people do. Okay, that's a cool share.
Shelly, your videos of you walking with your family, I used to walk when you guys walked.
Oh yeah.
It motivated
I'm like,
me. You guys
which is
walk-
funny because I do it. I'm like, I'm not posting this. So stupid.
Yeah, but she just walked normal with her husband or daughter. They walk the dog. They talk, and I used to find it interesting.
Oh, well, that's cute.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So somebody else thinks that you're interesting that you don't know. Shelly thinks it's dumb. What was your name again?
Teresa.
Shelly thinks it's dumb. Teresa thinks it's interesting. With a little bit of a tweak, it might inspire Teresa or somebody like Teresa to go start an auto body shop or buy a home from you or get a loan for or get a mortgage, right? Okay? A little bit of tweaking and we got some magic, right? But what's the key? You're always going to think it's dumb. What do you think J-Lo thinks before they're going on the Super Bowl? Holy crap, like I'm going to go out in front of 7 million people. I got this outfit on, like, God, I wonder if this is going to be a disaster. And then the lights go up and the performer comes out and boom, you get the halftime show, right? You crush it because that's your commitment to the
I've
audience.
had
Go
4
ahead.
months of that buying all the lifts and the.
Yeah.
And it's my body shop, so.
Yeah.
I've had to buy all this, I get it. It's scary, and now the lights are gonna turn, and I'm scared.
You're going to crush it. You're going to crush it. Is anybody going to come? Does anybody still drive cars? Do they still wreck cars? Probably. Okay, so here we go. Number 1 and 2, for most people, are the only thing that ever is going to come to your mind. This is why we're talking about. Like, if you sit down with a blank piece of paper, the only thing that's ever going to come out of there is 1 or 2. I'm going to talk about real estate, or I'm going to show you that I'm on a walk with my kids. What the heck else would I ever talk about? Okay? Well, what would a show ever be about besides some dumb guy disappointing his wife or some mishap happening through a miscommunication, right? Like that's okay. Well, I'm sick of that show. Do you got anything else? You have any other episodes? Yeah, we got 7, okay? Guess what happens? After 7 days, I can't remember crap about anything I watched last week. So now the episode can start over. Like, I can't remember what you posted a week ago. But if you only post the same thing over and over again, I'm going to get sick of it no matter how good it is, right? So a little bit of variety here. What's 3? Results share. Let's talk about that. Hey, I'm here with Bob, and Bob just got this house. Bob, what does it mean to you? Oh my gosh, it was a perfect swimming pool, and now I'm going to do this, right? Whatever it is. Okay? Maybe Bob doesn't want to be on camera. Maybe there's regulations for being on camera. Bob being on camera. I don't know. But in some way, that's the best one you could only do. If you only had 1 episode to ever shoot, you could go 7 days live with a result that you got for a client. You'd have a much better show than whatever your 3 steps are, right? Just share the results, good and bad, okay? If the person wants to be on camera, all the better. If they go on camera and they suck, and then you can do a little bit shorter, thanks, Bob, and take it back. And get back to this, right? It's live wire, that's why people don't do it. You don't want to impose, you don't want to whatever, right? Share the results of what you got for your clients. And they don't got to be amazing results. You think it's routine. Guess who doesn't think it's routine that they now get to live in a cool house that they like? The person that bought it. Guess who thinks it's really, really cool? The person who wants to buy one and hasn't had that result yet, right? The results shares are so mundane to us. Who would ever care? I sell houses all the time. I don't buy them all the time. I only buy them like once in a while. And I don't want it to get screwed up. So I might go with the person that shares their results, okay? Number 1, current event. Hey, what's going on in the world? I'm not just a realtor. How can I relate this into this, right? Hey, here's what's going on with me. I wouldn't go, unless you only want to sell houses to somebody of the exact political persuasion that you are, I wouldn't be talking a lot about it, right? You could be a niche as the most hardcore left or right realtor in the valley, and you can carve out a niche doing that. But if you go on a rant and your audience ain't coming to you, right? Okay? So when you're talking about a current event, talk about it in some uplifting, personal way that would be relevant to your audience, right? But what's going on in the world? Show that you're a real person. I know this stuff. I don't exist as a robot. I'm a person too. Talk about a current event and how it might relate to something. If it has to do with housing, great. Talk about that. Do you know what interest rates are doing? Probably. Do I? I think I do, but I'm not really sure. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know what banking is going on. I'll tell you, I'm so out of it. I can't believe people. How are people buying homes in 2020? I don't know. It's going off the charts. The real estate in my market's like, thank goodness I have a house because I couldn't afford one. And who's buying these things? I don't know. Maybe you can tell me, right? I have no clue. So current events, right? Relevant personal experience. Okay? This is where you're saying, hey, did this ever happen to you? Hey, this is where maybe you're not on the walk right now with your kids, right? That'd be more of a lifestyle share. Hey, this thing happened to me and I wanted to share it. Maybe it's not a results share, maybe it's the opposite. Hey, I came in and this person said that that some other realtor promised that they could get him into this house and they just didn't and they were just devastated and I just wanted to share this with you. You know what I mean? Just a relevant personal experience. Be relevant. What does relevant mean to real estate? It's important to understand. What would be relevant if you're a realtor online? That's a $64,000 question there, right? Is what you had for dinner relevant? No. That's why it's 1 out of 7, right? If it's 7 out of 7, I eat dinner too. And maybe I think I'm a better cook than you because yours don't look that good. Mine looks good. I've got a barbecue going on, right? So it's there because I want to get to know you. But I want to get to know these things. What relevant means is a sphere of influence, okay? So what is it about my home, somebody living in a home, that is meaningful to that person, okay? That's your sphere of relevance. There's a lot in that. What does it mean to you that to live in a home? What did it mean when you didn't live in the house that you wanted to live in? What did it mean when your kids didn't go to the school that you wanted? What did it mean to you and all these things? That's what's relevant, right? That's what's relevant. Is anything that has to do with that person that is connected in any logical way, and you can even get creative, and in any way is connected to that person and what life is like because they're living in this home. That's relevant. Talk about it. Talk about all of it. Talk about what it all means, okay? Relevant personal experience, ask the audience. Hey, you just want to see, here's what I'm experiencing. What are you guys seeing? Tell me down in the comments. What are you guys seeing? What's your biggest thing right there? Holy cow, I can't even find an inventory home right now. I'm totally making stuff up. I don't know what this is about right now, right? But it's like, I can't find anything. Let me know what's going on in your world. Or, hey, I just went in to enroll my kid at this school, and I realized that I don't like this school that we're going to, and now we've got a decision to make about whether we're going to move. Now you're combining a relevant personal experience with Ask the Audience, right? Has this ever happened to you? How did you guys deal with it, right? Just come right out, and the point of the post is to ask the audience. Ask them something. Don't ask them if they want to buy a house from you. Ask them what experience they had. Ask them what thoughts they had, right? 7, direct call to action. Hey, I've got an open house coming up. I want you to come. Every once in a while, you come out and just tell them, right, what it's about, right, what it's for. I got an event coming up. Hey, if you don't know what your house is worth, call me and I'll tell you in 30 seconds or whatever it is, right? Every once in a while, just come right out of the gate and just tell them what you want them to do. This one story that Jake, so why don't you just on like where we're talking about in the car, where like you're like a year and a half into your videography career and people don't know what you do, right?
Yes.
And then we'll move on to the timeline. No.
Yes.
Make sure people know what you do.
Yes, definitely make sure people know what you do. I was literally a year and a half into doing video production full time. And like I was just kind of posting, you know, I don't even know what I was posting. Just random depressing things about my kids still that far in, not sure. Stuff that was completely unrelated in any way, shape, or form to video production all the time. Yes, that's what I was posting. In my mind, I was like, there's no way someone could ever possibly think that I don't do video production. Like everyone just knows. And the second that I kind of realized, like, you know, maybe I need to test the waters a little bit and see, like, if anyone even knows that I do video production or what I do for work. You know, it says it in my bio or has like an emoji of a camera, so everyone must assume that. Like, I couldn't believe when I actually switched up the content a little bit, started talking about it, started showing behind the scenes a little bit more, how many people were like, holy crap, you actually do that for like a real job? You didn't just get like a one-off thing and you're still dumping sugar in a bag all the time? Like, oh, you actually know how to do this kind of video production or that, or you've experienced, whatever it was like a huge thing that so many people miss just because like you know you do it, doesn't mean anyone else does. And your social presence, when someone refers someone to you and they're like, I'll just go check them out on social media, it's like, does this person do real estate, or do they just like help rescue dogs bake treats all the time? Because she doesn't ever talk about real estate. Like there's nothing on here about it. Like does she, once back to everything we're saying, is she good at it? What does she do? Is she knowledgeable? Is she up to date on the market? Whatever it is. So can't stress how important that is to start creating social video, to start talking about it, start showing it, so people really understand. They can have a better chance of knowing what you do, have a better chance of sending referrals. That we'll get into this also, but there's just so much opportunity missed because we simplify it and just think everyone just knows, and they don't. So literally changing this one thing and getting your page up to date and, you know, combining it with being famous for being you and putting out content out there that's interesting and running through your episodes and doing all the things is, you know, that might be the one thing literally for most of you that helps you get more leads, that helps you get those 2 to 3 qualified leads every month. We don't know how many people are coming and leaving just because it doesn't look like they're even open. Is the open sign on this thing? I don't know, I don't want to ask. It looks kind of dead in there. So yes. Get that right.
Yeah, and somebody could say, maybe if I'm on your page because I really like, or I'm thinking about getting a bypass surgery or a lap band or whatever it was that you got, and then all of a sudden out of the blue you're like, hey, do you want to buy a house from me? I do that too. Like, no, I'm not here for that, right? So as we go in here, now if they that's one way to do it. Another would be to say, holy cow, she's out there helping somebody buy a house too. This lady's amazing. She has two ways to be relevant to me. There's going to be a lot of people in this valley that would absolutely love to buy a home from a dog-loving realtor, right? But if they're disjointed and there's no relevance and there's no strategy and there's no episodes and just whatever comes out of your brain goes on social media, then you look like everybody else does, and then pretty soon I just can't understand you. Anyone ever got that? Like this TV show, like the acting's good, but I just don't care about this anymore. I'm not investing any more time in this show. I'm going to stop watching this show. Usually what's wrong with that storyline is it doesn't make any freaking sense. The idea could be there, but the structure, there's no story. I don't know how we got from A to B to C to D to E to F. There's no structure to any of this, or it's not strong enough, or there's some gap in this strategy. And so I'm just like, I just don't care. I like you, but I'm kind of busy. Or I'm only going to watch X number of shows. I'm only going to watch a good one. Like the truth is, there's a lot of stuff I could watch. If I pull out my Facebook, I got a lot of choices, right? So your show better be pretty good, and it better make sense to me. The biggest place you can make is just your show just doesn't make sense. And if you start thinking of your Facebook channel like a show, and you start thinking of episodes instead of posts, and how is my show going to make sense, you can really, really change your life. So we're going to lock that in. We're going to move forward to something that's a little bit different, really, really fun, really, really cool. Any questions, anything we can kind of like just show you before we move on from the episodes?
How many episodes a week do you feel is needed to be effective?
More than you're doing now. As long as they're good, you couldn't have too many. I would say if you're not doing it at all, set a commitment to getting to at least one post a day.
Oh, daily.
Daily, a minimum daily, yes. And if you're like, I don't do it at all, then having a goal to do it daily might sound tough, right? So do it once a week. But your minimum goal, like if you're not doing it at least every day, then it just gets really hard to promote your show.
I just want to do like a 10-second chime in on that. For people in our group, I go and look at their posts and how many they've done and what it was about. And all the people in our group right now, I'm not even kidding you. These people are like, man, I'm on social media every day. I'm killing it all the time. I'm not getting any results. There's nothing happening. Like, you guys couldn't possibly teach me anything else. Like, what is this? I go in their thing, and they have 6 posts in the month of June on Instagram. And I'm like, do you not see the problem? Let's just start 100% by getting everyone probably in this room up to one really, really, really good post a day and commit to that, for sure.
Your life will be better.
Yes.
Your life will be better. What's that?
A video post, like I post almost every day, but you're saying a video.
Yes. Until you're just so good at video that you're just bored of it and everyone else is bored of it and you got to post some pictures.
To put it together,
Yeah.
a little more editing and stuff like that. It's, it's a project.
Yeah.
As opposed to a Facebook Live.
Yeah, when I say a video every day, it's pulling your phone out, boom, done, it's done.
Okay,
Not professional videos. They take an eternity
no,
to do that. Yeah, and I'm not being trying to rude. I'm just saying no. It's 100%. Yes. So when you said a video, so I could tell there's some hesitation like every day. So was that hesitation because you were assuming we were talking about professionally shot edited video? Is that what was causing some of the consternation? Okay, great. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about pulling your phone out, capturing a moment, and being a human being that can present themselves on camera and let people know who you are.
Are you guys primarily focusing on Facebook, or are we going to get into other platforms later? Or, I mean, because I was really starting to consider doing just every day a YouTube channel video.
Yeah.
One platform's better than another?
It's not better. It's different,
Yeah.
and it's really hard to do all three at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm going to be a screenwriter and an actor and a producer next week. Well, you probably better start with one and see if you don't suck at that, right? Facebook's very different than Instagram. Instagram's very different than both, and YouTube's completely different than all the others, right? So it is different, and you've got to learn the rules, and you've got to learn what's really, really good. Okay? Like if you're going to crush it on YouTube, you're committing a lot. That's the one that takes the most work. And it also comes with the greatest rewards, because it is literally a modern TV show. And there are people that make millions of dollars that are literally carrying a camera around their house. And they're making more money than whatever the heck is on ABC right now, right? But it's different. It's the biggest elephant, right? It's the biggest prize. And so maybe you want to eat that one first because it's a long hunt and I got to get after it, right? Or maybe you want to start with something else because you don't really get social video yet or whatever. So the basics would be YouTube has got to look more like a show. It's almost always edited. Even if it's crazy kids running around in a house, it's edited like crazy. It's a show. It's 9 hours worth of content boiled down into a 7-minute vlog, right? That's the type of content that can be like crazy, like, oh, my kids, my gosh, my kids watch every single episode of this show that I cannot tolerate. That's what it is, right? So there's a lot of content, a lot of video. You're not as likely to just pull your phone out and say something interesting and get people to watch it on Facebook, okay? Because people aren't on YouTube. They don't get the little buzzer that says, somebody went live on YouTube. Like I sit down and I watch YouTube like I used to watch TV, right? Facebook, I'm gonna be on the toilet, I might be running, I might be anywhere, and I'm just trying to share something with somebody, right? So that's really native to live content. And then the difference mainly between Instagram and Facebook is that it's just kind of a cooler kids game on Instagram, and it's a little bit more. What's that? Yeah, you share. You can always post to both, right? But what people want on them is different. So it's almost like I made this for Instagram and I share it to Facebook because I might as well, or I made it for Facebook and I'm going to share it to Instagram and maybe somebody will watch it. But like those two audiences are very different. So if you really, really want to crush both, then you'd be making a little post for both or sending it over to an editor or whatever, right? Go live on Facebook and then have somebody that can put that into a little package or whatever, right? It's a little different. There's some differences and you got to commit to which one you're going to do and learn those differences. We can totally help you understand what that is, but they're different. There is no better. It's just which one do you want to commit to tackle and which one is more my style, right? Which one is more my style?
Is there a way of you address, we have a lot with compliance. Can we do, a Facebook Live video, but we don't have a key going by that says our licensee number?
In your description.
Just at the top in our description, so it doesn't matter that the video itself doesn't have it. Beautiful, thank you.
Yes. You put some legalese up there and that's great. Put it in there. Have it on a little notebook. Have it on, and have the legalese on a note that is constantly in there. It's the first post that goes in. Stick it up on there.
Yeah,
get it done.
I always
Yeah.
have it at the top,
Right.
but
Perfect.
I didn't know
Yeah.
if it's in the video content, because could they share just the video and not, okay.
Video, it's always there. Content's always there. You can minimize it, whatever, but it's always there, right? Okay, we're gonna shift gears. Everyone want to do a little wiggle? You want to stand up, clap, get some movement energy. Okay, cool. You guys moved so much now. You're ready to like dialed in. Okay, cool. Okay, we just shared one thing that can change your life. We're about to share another. It's so much easier than you think to know what to talk about and to be engaging 7 days a week, or twice a day, or 3 times a day. The problem is, number one, people think it's got to be super, super professional shot. But number two, people just run out of ideas what to talk about. We just gave you one major tool, which is, okay, I'm going to take that slide and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go to work on that. And I'm going to create at least, if nothing else, go in order. And on Monday, I'm going to do number 1. And on Tuesday, I'm going to do number 2. And on Wednesday, I'm going to do number 3. And you got no excuses not to do 7 videos. It's not possible that you couldn't do one of those videos a day, right? Okay, but like, how do I do the video? That's the real question. Like, I stick the camera in front of my face, and then what do I say, right? Okay, cool. Well, there's actually a solution for that too, right? Commercials, they're not as free-flowing as you think they are, right? Anyone in here ever watch an infomercial and bought the thing that it was selling? Nobody's ever bought anything from an infomercial? Okay, well, raise your hand, What is it? What did you buy from an infomercial?
The Ninja Foodie.
You bought the Ninja like it's a blender?
Now it's a
Foodie?
cooker.
Oh, cooker thing. Okay, Ninja's now like,
amazing.
okay, the cooker, and it's amazing. Right? Who else has bought something from an infomercial? Come on. Who hasn't? That's the real question.
I bought some kind of air inflator bike thing.
Air inflator bike thing.
Out of the box.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never get out of the box. So, because there's nothing. I guarantee there's nothing more scripted on the planet than an infomercial. It's boringly, depressingly, crazy, scientifically scripted to get you to buy something you don't need, like an air compressor from your bike, right? We don't need to be that scripted, but we better have a plan, or your content's going to be, what happens when you don't really know what you're talking about? What happens?
People stop trusting you.
People stop trusting you. People don't want to listen to you, right? Okay. From the external side, people are like kind of hoping this thing ends if you're face to face, or if it's on social, you just shut it off because it's weird. What happens to you?
Lose your confidence.
You lose your confidence. Tone starts to change. What happens to the length of the thing? Just ramble on forever. I haven't made my point yet. I'm just going to keep going until I do. Like, I know it's minute 9, and heck, dude, by 25 minutes, I know I'm going to say something interesting. I got a thought in my head. It's got to come out sometime, right? This is what happens if you don't have a plan, okay? And just like regular people, that's what I'm saying. Like, people in your real life, they will tolerate that and think it's your quirky personality, and people online will shut you off and ignore you, and you'll never get any success, right? It's kind of ruthless because they don't have to like you. You're not there. They don't have to be nice to you. They don't have to give you a second chance. They don't have to care. They just on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. Okay, so how are we going to play this game in a way that somebody can actually win? This is the second piece of content. We can just give you these little, I wish we could just package these up and put them in your pocket like a little coin that would be worth $1 million to you, okay? Because this is all we do. If we sit down with a client, this is all we do. Like, this is all the magic is right here in these slides, okay? Number 1 is just like a social video, 4-part formula, okay? Number 1, what do you start out with? A hook, okay? What do most people start out with? Hey, everybody. My name's Nick, and it's Tuesday, and I'm really hoping that my brain kicks in and thinks of something to say. Didn't happen yet, so I'm in Las Vegas, and I'm looking at a house, and the whole thing's over. You can say whatever you want for the next 72 hours because nobody's watching anymore. Nobody cares, right? Whether it's live or otherwise, right? So can you sit down? Okay, can't do that. What am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to run it down. Hook. What's a hook?
Captures their attention.
This is a question, an involvement device. It sucks them in. Okay, so the hooks could be anything. Hey, has this ever happened to you? Question's a great way to hook. Maybe it's not up on the slide, so you're obligated to write it down. Okay, there's a number of different hooks, but the 3 ones that you could just go to all day. Same 3 ways. I got this straight from YouTube. How to start a speech. That's where it comes from, right? You look up YouTube how to start a speech. The guy will tell you better than me. There's 3 things you start. Number 1 is with a fact. Hey, did you know that da 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 da? Like, oh, if that fact's relevant, I'm going to watch, right? Number 1 is just some interesting fact. Number 2 is an interesting story. And number 3 is a question. Just an involvement device. Has this ever happened to you? Da, 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 okay? Just say, okay, whatever it is that I'm going to think about, I'm going to take 60 seconds. As soon as you get good, these will start just coming into your mind. It's just the way you'll talk. But like, give yourself a time frame. I'm going to take 60 to 90 seconds, and I'm going to think of the first thing I'm going to say. And then when the camera comes on, that's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say something else. I'm not going to second guess myself. I'm just going to say the thing that I said I was going to say when I get started, and then we're live and we're wild to the world, and we're going to go from there, right? Anybody do that? This will change your world if you just sit down and hook somebody and say something besides blah, 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 whatever comes out of your mouth, okay? The hook's got to be like 10 seconds. The hook is not you're not trying to convince it. The hook is just a way to say like, okay. Then we move into what we call a frame, right? The frame is just like, I'm going to build a bridge from the hook into the content, okay? So I make it relevant for them. So if I was to say, what's an interesting fact that's going on in the real estate markets in Las Vegas right now? Somebody give me an interesting fact.
No open houses are allowed.
No, you can't do an open house right now. That's true. Is that true?
Yes.
You can't do an open house in Las Vegas. That is such a killer hook. Holy cow, like right now, open houses are completely banned in thing. Let me tell you about why that happened. Let me tell you what this has. Now all of a sudden, what's the point of this video? Okay, now I got a great hook. Now I'm going to think, well, because this is how it happens. This is what creative people actually do. They say, oh, I got a great hook. I don't got an episode yet. I got to go create an episode out of this thing. I'm going to sit there and write. I'm going to sit down and take some pen and paper out and take 10 minutes in a day and say, what's the episode that goes along with that hook? Right? What's the episode that goes along with that? Let's make it up.
Well, it might not be open houses, but that's not going to stop us here
Hey, did you know that I can actually give you more detail about this house with my camera than I could have shown it to you live? Did you ever know that? Like it's just fast forward everything 10 times. And whether you're a buyer or a seller, you could not believe what's possible with a virtual walkthrough right now. It's the coolest thing ever. Let me show you. Let me show you around one. Look at this little camera that I got. Okay, cool. Now you got an episode, right? Okay, now you just got to go shoot it. But you can't go from, hey, did you know that open houses are banned in Las Vegas right now? Let me take you on the open house. Okay? Like you got to build me a bridge, right? Like, okay, I don't get it, right? The thing you're going to do in the episode is take me on a virtual tour of the open house and show me how it works, right? But I don't care about that yet. All I know is I said, huh? Is that true? That's literally what I thought. I couldn't believe it. Is that true? That's what your audience is saying. I live in Las Vegas and I didn't even know it was true. Why in the world can I not do a walk through somebody's house when my brother can go to the swimming pool at the Bellagio? Why would that be the case? I don't know. It's called rules or politicians or something, right? I don't know that, okay? So you got to build okay, so now this is how it works. You say, I got my hook and I got my episode. What's my frame? How am I going to get from there? How am I just going to say, hey, look, here's what we're talking about, okay? Here's what we're talking about. How is this going to be relevant to my crowd? So that's an example. We start with the hook. You can't do this. The benefit would be that I might think, maybe I know that. And I think, it's probably not a great time to sell my house because my house is really cool. And if people don't see that marble stairwell, they're not going to pay full price for it, right? Like I'm only going to get the 1.2 million if they come walk through this master bedroom and the plaster that I had that guy do, and you're just like, actually, none of that matters, you know. But like to the person, they might think anything about it, right? So what is okay, the virtual tour is going to be the content, and I'm going to start off with this crazy fact. How am I going to build my bridge, right? Hey, did you know that you can do this? Talk about your experience. Now you're into the content, right? Okay, content's like 2 to 5 minutes. It's not 10 minutes. It's not, like, just keep, like, if you can't say something interesting in 5 minutes and get off, we got a problem, right? Like the point is not to convince you of anything. The point is not to convince you of a house. That's why you can do 2 a day and nobody ever cares. Your first one might be 90 seconds. Your first one might be a minute and a half. I probably didn't even see your first one, and I saw your second one. There's a lot of stuff on Facebook. I don't see every single thing you post. It's impossible for me to get sick of you because I don't see 90% of what you put out, which is why you got to put out a lot of stuff to reach people, right? So how can I make it really, really simple to put a lot of stuff out? How can it not take up, how can I shoot 2 10-minute videos in a total of 15 minutes in a day? I could shoot a 5-minute video in the morning, I could shoot a 5-minute video in the day, and the whole thing, I got 2 videos out, and the whole thing only took 15 minutes out of my day. That's where you're going to get. That's the goal. Not sitting down with a production unit, not selling houses, not following up with referrals, not hoping that marketing will help you do all the other stuff that, you know, will take the place of all this other stuff you don't want to go do. You got to go do all that and can this into like 15 minutes and add this to what you're doing, and it will change your life. It will change every single thing that you do, okay? The content, and then it's called the action, right? What do you do with this? The funniest thing is like watching, not that funny, but we've seen it a lot. Jake and I are a little bit cold and callous to watching people with videos. It's a little bit funny. You know how that is. You probably think the same thing about people that are buying a house. You're like, okay, here we go. I know what question's coming next. And sometimes you can just see it like, okay, this dude has no freaking clue how to end this video. I bet this goes on for 3 minutes. The video's over, but I can't figure out how to get out of this thing. And so I'm going to restate what I said, and then I'm going to tell another story, and then I'm going to start with saying, and so yeah. That's the key, right? That's what we all say. So that's it. My show's over. I'm going to go ahead and push stop now. Is that okay with you? Right? Like that's where we get to, okay? So we're all wondering, oh my gosh, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to talk about? What am I going to talk about? The least important part. Let's just click the slide, okay? This is what it should look like on a timeline perspective. The hook's got to be 10 seconds. The frame's got to be within 60 seconds. If I don't know what your video's about and I can't make a decision of whether I'm in or out in 60 seconds, I'm out. And I'm probably out anyway, which is fine. If I don't want to know about mortgage rates right now, thank you for letting me know that this video is about mortgage rates. Has nothing to do with Shelly. Has to do with me being effective with my time. I like Shelly better because she just told me this is not an episode that you're going to be interested in. Perfect. Thank you, Shelly. I'll come check out your next one. It's a service to them to tell them what it's about. In the first 60 seconds, I can make a determination whether I'm going to do this or not. And why we're harping on this so much is because there's just, everyone in this room happens to be a human, and there's no possible way that a human without training will ever do this. ever. The only thing that will come out of your mouth is the same thing that comes out of every other person's mouth that doesn't have a plan, which is, hi, this is my name, I'm in Las Vegas, I'm doing this, and then you start apologizing for even being on the phone. I thought maybe you'd be interested, and I just wanted to take a minute, and maybe someone out there thinks I'm not an idiot, you know what I mean? Just, okay, that's what, like, it doesn't mean anything other than you're a human being, and you're not, and that's what comes out of our mouth if we're not deliberate about doing something else. Jake or here and I are to change your life, to do this. Do this instead. Just commit to doing this instead, and you can do nothing else but post twice a day. If that seems overwhelming, do it once a day. If that seems overwhelming, do it once this week. Send us a thing and say, I did it! And we will say congratulations. Good job. Do another one. That's all we'll say. Do another one. Do another one. Do another one. Okay, cool. So as anyone with the content, this is what it looks like on a timeline basis. Point is, yes, go ahead.
7-minute max. I've heard you say.
Yes.
You said not 9 minutes.
Yes. This is like 2 to 5 minutes. Yes. I shoot for 5. Have the whole thing, especially at the beginning. Just like put some relevant content out there. Make sure it's less than 5 minutes.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Yes. So 5 is like max. That's like if you really, really have to tell them something, and there's some long story or there's some great payoff, then make sure the middle part's not more than 5 minutes, right? And the call to action's done. It's 30 seconds. Therefore what? Therefore, go get my thing, or like and comment on this. We'll give you all the call to actions in just a second, right? Well, they're all scripted out. These are just plug and play pieces, but this is the whole thing, right? Okay, there we go. This is why people screw up social media. Again, the fourth, if I could only give you one thing, I would give you this, okay? Can you tell we like this, we're into it, okay? Hook, frame, content, action. That's what it all is. What's your hook? What's your frame? What's your content? What's your call to action, okay? You only need 4 things in any video. Anyone ever been to a play that kind of seemed like the last play that you went to? It even had an intermission in the middle. It was so weird. All of a sudden, this climax of action ended right at an hour and a half into the show, and then there was a 20-minute intermission, and it's scripted. Every play is that way. Because otherwise, I can't watch it, because I need to go to the bathroom. So if your play can't stop in the middle for 20 minutes and get me hooked to come back, then I can't watch it. Okay, it's the same thing with this. Every show, anyone ever been shocked at what happened in an Avengers movie? I know exactly what's going to happen. Of course I know what's going to happen. It's a superhero movie. It's the same thing with different characters, right? That's what we're shooting for. Not creativity, functionality. Okay, so look, here's where everybody, did I get this right? What are we doing with timeline? Oh, anyway, beginning, middle, end, right? Just like a play. There's a beginning, and then there's a middle, and then there's an end. Time-wise, the middle is the longest part, and so that's the part we're all fussing about. It's completely backwards. Uh-oh. What do we do here? There we go. Okay, we're going to go here. Impact-wise, which is what you should be really paying attention to, it's completely backwards. You should spend 25% of your time figuring out your hook. Spend 60 to 90 seconds coming up with something that you're going to say that's going to be a deliberate hook to open. And that's what I'm going to say. And just like a person who is in the military better get up at 6 a.m. or whatever that drill says, you're not just going to not do it, right? If you're at boot camp and somebody's going to yell at you, then you're going to get up on time. Just have that level of discipline. I'm going to write out my hook, and if I don't do anything else, and even if I don't post the video, this is what I had to do. I sucked at I'm not good at this. Jake's natural at it. I have to learn every step of it. That's how it goes. So literally, we call it the 100 bad video challenge. I didn't even post it. I didn't even go live. I just stuck my phone in front of my face, and I shot 100 really stupid videos. And the first 10 were literally like, I'm pulling out my phone. I'm trying not to look at it. I'm trying to figure out where my thumb goes and how to not look at the camera and go like this to turn it on and off. And I was just getting used to my phone, right? And then about 20 in, that got boring. I said, what am I going to practice? What I'm going to practice is saying the thing that I said I was going to say when I started the video. There's just a little trigger inside of us that thinks that free will and it's going to be better and something magic's going to come out of my mouth. And whatever magic you got coming out of your mouth is going to be dumb. So just get your hook, okay? 40% of the time is this. Your hook's like, dude, okay, you got me. I'm interested. I want to know. I had no idea that there's no home showings, that there's no open houses or whatever. You can't do an open house in here. Okay, cool. You got me. So what? I don't really care about the fact that you can't do an open house. And so it's sort of interesting, but it doesn't make any difference to me, right? So now you can be like, okay, I'm going to try to build a bridge between this fact and this episode. I got to go tell them what it should mean to their life, okay? So just like, that's where all the magic's at. So right here, and then at the end, the call to action, so what? So what? Now, whoever here has been to a great movie with a dumb ending? Okay, do you have a specific one in mind? Anything you've seen? Anyone specific one you want to gripe about? Okay, did you just hear the reaction though? I hope you caught that on camera. Ah! 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 The better the movie, and it has a bad ending, the worse the blah. Because I wanted it to be good. If it was just sucked all the way through, I'd be like, oh, another crappy movie. But you had me. And then it sucked at the end. I hate you now. I hate you, stupid director. Because now you got this movie that's always going to suck because nobody's ever going to pay to go put stick on some ending that makes any sense, right? They probably should. I'd go watch it again. But who's ever here? Maybe you don't recognize it because we don't recognize it. But if you went and watched your favorite show, it's a good chance the middle part's not that great. The middle part can be anything. The middle part can suck. The middle part is how do you get from the good beginning to the great ending. That's all that the middle part is, right? So we're all over here. What am I going to talk about? Should I talk about 7 secrets of loan origination? Should I talk about 3 ways to, the 3 things that your mortgage broker should, whatever? And I don't care what you want to talk about. Just give me a really good hook, make it relevant to me, and tell me what you want to do at the end. Therefore, what? Therefore, do this action and your life will be better, right? So we're going to get there, okay? So this is what I say. 65% of the impact comes from the first 60 seconds. If you can just get really, really good at how you start your videos, you have now freedom to talk about whatever the heck you want, just to make it over 5 minutes. Yes, Shelly?
So do you suggest that we, I hear, even for myself, I always start off with hi, I'm Shelly Panzarella, lender here in Las Vegas. If they're looking at us already, shouldn't they already know who we are? So
I would assume so.
You just say, hey, it's Shelly, or do you even say Shelly or say your name at all? Or you just
A lot of people do just because it's formulaic, right?
Yeah.
But that's it. Hey, it's Shelly. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Like Frank Kern, he's a marketer, my hero, master of this. Every single video I've ever seen on the planet. Hey, everybody, Frank Kern here. He's never said anything else at the beginning of a video. But how long does it say to say, hey, everybody, Frank Kern here? That's a second and a half. And then it's right into the content. Hey, everybody, Frank Kern here. Did you know that Facebook, that Mark Zuckerberg just has a meeting coming up, and he's got to hit this quarterly goal, and that's going to mean this and this and this to your ad prices? Okay, I'm going to watch that, right? So it's a great icebreaker because it's like something to say, right? It's like you got to walk up to the hardest words are the first 5 or 6 are going to be mouthed. One of the most effective things you can do is just say the same thing every time. Again, I'm talking about a master. I'm talking about the Brad Pitt of acting or the Steven Spielberg of directing. Frank Kern is the master of marketing on social media. I've never seen a video where he didn't say, hey, everybody, Frank Kern here, and then start talking, right? But he doesn't say, hi, everybody, I'm Frank, and I'm here again in La Jolla. Did you know I live in La Jolla? I talk about it a lot. It's pretty obvious because it's where I am anyway. You know what I mean? No, just, hey, everybody, Frank Kern here. Did you know that da-da-da-da-da-da? Hey, everybody, Frank Kern, I just got back from the dealership to go trade in my Rolls Royce, and they told me it was worth $100,000 less, and I said, screw you, right? Okay, great, cool. I'm in this thing, right? Okay, the point is, if you don't need to memorize any of these percentages. Do I have any hard data that says these percentages are exactly correct? I'm making a point. I'm saying you're spending 100% of your time worrying about what has 10% of the impact, which is what am I going to talk about? It doesn't matter what you're going to talk about as long as it's not dumb. And as long as you're not boring when you talk about it. That's all, okay? What you're going to talk about is just make it something relevant. There's a million topics. If you just sat down and say, okay, 5 topics. Give me 5 topics, rapid fire right now. We're running low on time. What are 5 topics that are interesting in real estate? The 5 basic core topics. What's interest rates and what does it mean to me? That's a topic. What else? What's my home worth? Got to be on there, right? What else? What's going on? Is it like how do I? Are you talking about what's going on house-wise? Yeah, how do I figure out really specific information about this one area that I'm going to be dialed into? Oh, great. There's 3. What else we got?
How's the market?
How's the market? Is it hot? Is it like crazy? Am I an idiot to buy a house right now? Am I an idiot not to buy a house right now? Should I wait 6 months? Should I sell now, or are there something kind of what's going on in the market and what does that mean to me? That's 4. What else? That's all. That's all. I'm gonna make one up, and I'm not a realtor. I'll give you 30 seconds and I'll make one up. Somebody beat me. I dare you. What else is a cool topic in real estate? Nobody wants to know about how they should stage their house?
Right now it's pools.
Pools. Well, the fact that pools has an that's cool. Great. There's 5 topics. Guess what? I got 5 topics. I got 7 different ways to talk about it. I don't care about content anymore. I got 35 ways. There's only 30 days in a month. Nobody on the planet's going to remember anything I said 30 days ago. Great. You got 35 leads. 7 times 5. Don't worry about what to talk about. Worry about how you're going to talk about it and get good at translating what's in your mind and what's in your heart and how they would view you if they were sitting with you, and get that to translate to camera. That's what it's about. It has nothing to do with sexier topics than what everybody else is talking about. It's not sexy at all. It's just it's real estate, right? Like I don't really want sexy real estate. I just want the thing to work, right? Okay, cool. Here we go. All right. Hook frame, content, action. Here's how you do it. Okay. Just again, we've talked about all this. This is a recap. Okay. How do you get a good hook? Well, over time you'll get better at it. You think Steven Spielberg's first movie was E.T.? No. Right? The first, just have something that you know you're going to say. That's how you start getting really, really good at it. You take your best shot and then you say the thing you said you were going to say. Be deliberate on your opening. That's how you can get a great hook. And over time, you'll start to realize, like, holy crap, I should have said this. Make a little note. Thursday, I'm freaking saying that. And then you'll go and get another hook. Or say it the next day. Or say it in the afternoon. Or say it, delete that one and say it the next time. Say it, like, whatever. Like, but you'll start to get better, but the only way you can even start is just get a deliberate opening. Number 2, the frame. The frame is not some magical device. It's just, what is your purpose of this video? And what can I expect from it? When I say promise, I just mean what can I expect from it? Tell me what you're going to talk about and tell me why it matters. And I'll decide if I'm in or not, right? Okay? And then the content, again, this is the middle of the movie. Just don't screw it up. Like, just don't be boring. Like, if I'm sitting in the movie and I'm 30 minutes in, there's a 99% chance I'm going to stay to the end. The only movies I ever walked out of in the middle were raunchy things I didn't want to see with my wife or my kids, right? Like, they screwed it up. They violated what I thought was going to happen. And that's what got me on the seat. If it's just boring, like, well, say, heck, I'm already here. Maybe it's going to get good, right? Don't screw it up. Action, tell them exactly what you wanted them to do. What's the likelihood that if you don't know that beforehand, that it's going to magically pop into your head while you're talking? 0, right? So what's the point, okay? And then what do great people have to do? Just like we talked with Shelley, all the masters, guess what they also do? They say the exact same thing at the end of every video because that's the way you push the stop button and get off. Okay? Anyone in here ever seen a video of a guy named Satem Anali? Anyone in here ever remember the phrase, hey everybody, it's your boy Satem Anali here? He's changed it up a little bit, but that was every video. Every video. That's what he says. What does he say on the other side? Do it now, I'll see you on the other side. Go and watch the Shield Maiden video. Guess what it says at the end? That. Because that's the way you get off, right? Hey everybody, Frank Kern here. Just have a beginning and have an ending. And as soon as you've told them what you want them to do, then verbalize and say the thing that you say that ends your video and push the button and jump off. Totally killer move. Like, it's just so great. It looks just like, it's so fun how it positions you. Like, that's somebody that is confident. That's somebody that's certain. Like, they're just, because people don't talk that way. And so if you start talking that way, they're like, wow, like this is like she's like, must be like the J-Lo of Las Vegas realtors, right? Like, you just look different because you have a plan. If you do like anything right, okay? And who in here, it's a little bit of a sidetrack and we're way low on time, but we'll get into segment 3 here in just a second. Who in here knows what the 80-20 principle is? Explain it to me, and then we'll go over here for some data. What is the 80-20 principle? What does it mean?
20% of your efforts will produce 80% of your results.
Yeah, right. That's the Pareto principle. That's what it means in its most basic form. Exactly. It means that like 20% of what you actually do today is going to cause 80% of your income, right? You can also look at it another way and say that if you're in the top 20% of realtors in any category, you can get in the top 20% by just doing one thing really, really well. 80% of realtors, not a Signature Live because you're all awesome, but not all brokerages are awesome, right? And not all realtors are awesome. And if you had to look at just the mass of people, I bet you would not be comfortable buying a home yourself from 80% of these people, right? No clue what's going on. They're not masters of the craft. So if you've got like one real thing, you'll be in the top 20%. Okay? What if you do some math? What's 20% of 20%? 4%, right? What's 20% of 20% of 20%? Less than 1%. Right? If you can do 3 really, really cool things with your social video, I swear to you, you'll be in the top 1% of realtors in this valley. If you just did these 3, okay. Number 1, I'm going to do these 7 episodes. Number 2, I'm going to practice my opening and nail it. And number 3, I'm going to nail my closing. And I'm not even going to worry about what in the world I'm talking about in the middle. I'm just going to do those 3 things. Nick told me to do them. Jake told me to do them. They seem smart. I'm going to try it. Go for it. You do that for a month, you'll be like, holy crap, I'm doing this, right? It's happening, okay? Anyway, that's secret number 2. We got 40, no, we got to 4? Yeah, okay, cool. Like 45 minutes? Perfect. I used to be on a speaking circuit it wasn't exactly a speaking circuit, but sort of like that in my church. It wasn't something I wanted to do, it was something I kind of got asked to do. And and my wife, I would always go run by what I was going to talk to them about, and then she never had any thing to say about the topic. All she said was, the only thing that matters is nobody cares what you have to say after the bell rings. So, once the time's up, nobody cares. So we're going to try to get you out of here at 4, okay? We are happy to stick around. We're not going home for a few hours, so if you want to talk, we're not jetting out of here, but we will honor our time commitments as best we can, okay? So secret number 3, how to start getting results now, even if you're only getting a handful of likes or comments on your social posts. We're going to have Jacob come up here and talk about this. Some really, really fun ways that you can start getting traction now, okay? We're walking you through a process. Number 1 is you're like, should I work on getting good at social video, or should I start building a funnel? Or should I start working on getting more referrals or building a referral system? There's the 9,000 choices that all you guys got to make as to what you're going to pay attention to. We're here to bare our souls and die on the floor trying to convince you that you should pay attention to social video. It's what we know and it's what we love. And so that's step number 1. We're doing every single thing we can to put it into your brain that no matter who you are, no matter what your experience is, no matter what any past experience of whether somebody's told you or said anything about you, you need to commit to social video. We're not backing down from that. If you're not going to believe us, that's up to you. But we're here to bare our souls and convince you of this thing, okay? That's step 1. Okay, I believe in social video, but I particularly suck at it. I also am Nick Neilson, the carpet cleaner. And I get that it works for other people, but it won't work for me because I am particularly an idiot. And I'm the only one who knows that. So sometimes we feel that way. Okay, it can totally work for you. It absolutely can work for you. That's why we got these silly little things. I don't even wear these, but I thought they were cool, right? Famous for being me. We're not famous for acting like somebody else. We're not famous for doing stupid stuff and getting interest. We're famous for being you, the best version of you. All we're asking is that you could take what you do when you sit in front of somebody and get good enough to just translate that simple magic into a camera so that somebody who is not sitting with you can feel it at some level to where someday they would be sitting in front of you. Do you believe you can do that? If you don't, please believe us, that we believe in you. We have helped people that are so much worse than anybody in this room. And we've helped them to do it, okay? You could not suck as bad as people we have worked with. It would be impossible. We have worked with the worst.
Yes.
And we've worked with the best, but we've definitely worked with the worst, okay? So you cannot be as bad as them. You can do it, they did it. They learned how to do it. Do not count yourself out. It's a total side story, but I remember I live in Utah. We like our BYU Cougars, at least half the state does. And BYU is kind of known for they have no recruiting base. They really can't get the best players. So they get these tough little scrappy guys from Utah that they're not the best players. They're not the right size. Everyone tells them they can't play, but they just play so flippin' hard that they make us competitive sometimes. As long as we're not playing the University of Utah, we're competitive, right? And I remember this one guy this one year, and they said, hey, nobody has you on their draft board. He graduated. He was the middle linebacker. He was going like all-star, all state, all class, whatever. He was a legend at BYU. He was totally undersized, and he says, nobody's got you on their draft board right now. Are you going to go to the camp? Of course I'm going to camp. And I remember he spoke some words that I'll never forget. He said, if somebody's going to tell me that I can't play in the NFL, it better be somebody that's not me. Maybe some GM will tell me, but it's not going to be me. I'm not going to be the one that tells me that. I'm going to be the one that tells me that I can. And he didn't. And now he has an amazing entrepreneurial career where somebody, I bet, also told him he couldn't. Okay? Believe in yourself. Don't sell yourself short. Okay? You can do it. Now we get to the third thing, which is like, yeah, but Jake, you don't understand. Like, I got like 6 followers. Like, I'm so busy. Like, guys, this is going to take so long. Like, how long is it going to be? Like, am I going to have to do this for like 6 months before I get anything? Okay, like we know what your excuses are. We've been in your brain. We've lived in there before. We know what these excuses are. And we're here to just take a machine gun to all of them. Just annihilate all of them, okay? So, yes, this is what you need to focus on. Yes, you can do it. And no, it's not going to take the rest of your life to get it done. We know you're busy, okay? So we're going to spend a little bit of time here at the end showing you how to do it fast. And then we're going to take the last 10 or 15 minutes of what we have and tell you about an amazing opportunity that we have for you because we love you. And then we're going to be at 4 o'clock and we're going to say what we say at the end of our presentations and we're going to shut up. And then they're going to stop the camera and then we're going to party because we're here for you and we want to answer any questions that you guys have. Is that all agreeable for our next 38 minutes together or whatever we got, okay? Okay, perfect. With that, we'll let Jake talk about getting results now. How do I start getting results now?
Awesome. So yeah, someone says, I only have 6 followers. What am I supposed to do? And I say, Mom, chill out. We can help you. I know I can do this, and I'll do it for free for you. So
Jake's mom is an amazing therapist.
Yes.
Who trains in the top. She's absolutely at the top
worldwide.
Of her field. Every single time she gets on stage, she just slays it. And every time she gets in front of a person, she completely, she's one of the best therapists ever. What do you think she thinks about her social media? Who in the world would care about that?
She was like,
why would anybody care about that? Well, I'm just dumb. I can't do it. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter how good you are at what you are. That's why we're joking about his mom. Oh, nobody likes my stuff. It's the same thing. No matter how good you are, it's the same process.
Yes. And since I'm talking about her anyways, I will tell you literally the evolution of her starting in social media and what she accomplished in like literally the first 2 weeks of just implementing things that we told her to do, put social video out there. She literally had no following. And I'm like, she hates when I refer to her as this because it's like, I don't know why. You guys might be able to tell me why. I'm not sure. But I say, Mom, you're like the international playboy of freaking therapy, sex addiction therapy stuff. Like, it's just so cool. Everyone's just like, they're like oozled by you and they just want to be around you and like freaking touch you for some reason. It's just amazing. And she was like, but still had this, even though she had all this confirmation that she was the most interesting person on the planet and the smartest when it came to recovering from sex addiction and all these things, and she's spoken all over the world, she's like, but no one really would care about my social videos or whatever. Like, why would they watch that? So we teach her our formula, we teach her how we do stuff, and she put some videos out there. It wasn't really getting tons of traction, but she committed to it, and she was like, okay, I'm liking this because I'm more comfortable with it, and I feel like I know what to do, and I know what to talk about, I know how to structure it, so she'd come up with content a lot quicker. And what happened was, she put a video out there, and this is like my all-time thing for anyone that gets like 1 like per post. Like, there is so much value in that 1 like, and I'll tell you what happened for her. She got like 3. And she went to the likes, and I said, hey, go to the likes and see who liked your thing. And go to their profile, see if they're a real person, and see if they would be whatever. Connect with them. Build some freaking rapport, build a relationship. Literally go and thank that person for liking your video. Make a joke about it. I was the only person that liked my post. I wanted to reach out to you, like give you a freaking award. Like, may as well start a conversation since it was just me and you. And she went there, and someone that liked her post didn't comment. The only engagement was they just liked her post. That person happened to be in the NAACA P freaking therapy worldwide international leaders of all therapists, 100,000 people in their program. She reached out and she started a conversation. And over the next couple weeks, they invited her to speak and come and collaborate and present on a webinar to all 100,000 of the therapists that are registered with their organization. And she was like freaking blank check. What's up? Here you go, Jake. Like, I owe you this. Fill out whatever number. That, like, legitimately, the value in that was, to me, worth a blank check, honestly. But
he's still way in debt from what his mom gave. She gave birth to him, for heaven's sake. He can't be out of. You can never get out of debt.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, I would never cash that check if she did that. So, anyways, so I started thinking about that, and that was something where I was like, you know, if we really were just starting from the most freshest person, like I've never posted a video in my life. Well, I promise you, if you went and did one, just because the algorithm will try to help you, you would get in front of enough people to gather 1 or 2 likes. And so I know I'm kind of on like the lower end of it. Even if you're only getting a handful of likes, yes. So on the lowest end of it, there's still so much value in literally what you guys might be overlooking as nothing. There's no engagement here. There's nothing happening. There's so much to be done. There's so much opportunity there to connect, to build a relationship with someone, to reach out, to start a conversation, to let people know what you do, to thank them, to start all these conversations. And these will lead, I promise you, it might not be exactly what happened for my mom, but something like that will happen at some level. If you just start putting yourself out there, you follow how we teach it, and you do what we do, and you never stray from it, ever, a million years unless we tell you. So did you want to go over this?
Yeah, this is kind of less academic thing. I'm the academic geek, and Jake's the funny guy that actually tells you how it works. But look, at the end of every video, like I said, don't make this up. It's almost always going to be one of these 5 things that you want them to do, okay? Like at the end of every video, there's never been a Hollywood movie that got made without an ending, right? Maybe some dumb experimental thing, but there's 90% of social videos, because they're produced by people instead of Hollywood movie because they have money on the line, don't have an ending. They have no point. There literally is no resolution. There might be a story, and there might be an intention and an obstacle, and there might even be a climax, but there's no resolution. There's no point. Okay? What? So what? Therefore what? 2 of the greatest words ever spoken on the planet. Therefore what? I'm interested in, I'm not going to do the homework. I want you to do the homework for me. Why should I care about what you just said? Seal the deal for me. I'm here waiting. Please tell me what to do. Okay? Here's what it is. Hey, if this has been relevant for you, go to my website and get my free thing. Right? If this is a post that's about how to list your home virtually, maybe you could make a little 20-minute video about that you would call my course, my ultimate guide to listing your home on the internet, or virtual walkthroughs or whatever, and then say, hey, if this has been interesting for you, I've got a free course on it. Go get my free thing, right? You can do that, okay? Or go get if you need to know how much your house is worth, I probably know more accurately what all goes into that than anybody else in the valley. So go fill out my free thing, right? Go fill out my free, go do the next step. If you can't think of anything else, that's what it ever is. Go to my opt-in form and get my thing, right? Go to my website and become a lead. If you want to get on thing, give me your email address and join my list, right? I mean, if nothing else, do that, okay? Second thing, let me know in the comments below if your post is a question or a social relevant post or anything that has to do with the more interesting part of your lives, just a fantastic killer engagement tool to bring your audience in and gain rapport is tell me what is relevant for you or what experiences you have had this in the comments, or what questions do you have? Let me know in the comments, right? Anyone ever been on a video where they said that? Of course, everyone says that, right? There's a reason. Here, if this has been helpful, like and share it with somebody else. Again, if you can't do anything else, at least ask them to like and share it. Tell them to. Go watch YouTube channel. Like find some weird thing that your kids or your cousin or your nephew or somebody watches that watches a ton of YouTube. There is not a YouTube video on the planet that does not say smash the like and subscribe button and push the little bell for notifications in every single video. Are they doing that for no reason? Are they doing that because it doesn't do any good and they want to annoy everybody? No, they're doing it because every single person that likes and subscribes rather than walks away is 100% more likely to come watch the next show that they put out and then buy a t-shirt and then buy their DVD or whatever they're selling, right? You got to just tell them what to do. Tell them what to do. If somebody just came up to you and gave you a really, really good time, and you really, really helped them out, and then they said, hey, you know what, could you help me for just a second? Like I was in the grocery store, I told you exactly where to go get the aisles and everything like that. Could you just take a second and help me get that thing off the shelf? Of course. But would I have guessed to do that? Would I, even if you were reaching up there, would I say, like, you just got to tell me what you want me to do, okay? If it's been helpful, like and share with somebody else. Register for my upcoming event. Hey, I've got an online showing. I've got something going on. I'm going to be down at the ballpark Thursday night, and I'm going to be live streaming. If you don't have any live events or anything that they could ever register for, might be an opportunity to create one, right? Think of something that you've got coming up and do that. Do a web class on how to sell your home for the maximum value, or how to buy a home in Las Vegas when there aren't any because nobody's selling them, or whatever it is, right? You can hold an event. You can do that. Click the link in the comments and you go to my page, right? That's just another thing. Hey, I'm going to put the link down in the comments and click on it. I have a form that you can fill out. I have a free thing. Click on this link, right? Those are the calls to action. If you're going to end a video, again, what we want to do is just obliterate your excuses for not ending the video with a strong call to action. So what are you going to do? We're going to put you on the spot. Who wants to be our guinea pig? Raise your hand. Somebody who hasn't said a word yet. I think there's at least, I'm not going to look at anybody's eyes because that'll give it away, but there's some people that haven't said anything yet. Raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. I'm going to start looking at eyes. Here we go, here we go. How about you? Have you said anything? No, right there in the purple shirt. You, no, so we're just going to review. I'll walk you right through it. What's the very first thing we're going to do in our video? What's the very first 10 seconds? Hook. The hook. Okay, I've got to have a hook. And then I want to talk about mortgage rates or right now. Okay, that's called the what? The stuff I'm going to talk about. Right. Content. Right? Do I have a show yet? Do I have an episode yet? Not yet. What else do I need? You need your frame in the middle. I need my frame to connect my hook to the story, to my content. Okay? And then I need my call to action at the end. Okay. So great. It's Tim? Thank you, Tim. We'll go right back here. The next gentleman in the gray shirt. What's your name? Chris. Okay. Tim just gave you all the answers to this. I'm just going to quiz you a little bit. You got to shoot a video, and now you're going to sit down. How are you actually going to do this physically? What are you going to write down? What's the process of getting this freaking thing done?
Just to do it?
Number one, you're going to commit that you're going to do it.
Yes.
But if you just go do it, you will not do it this way. No. This will never come out of your mouth. So what are you going to do instead?
I'm going to do what you just said that I missed while I was gone.
Okay, no problem. He missed it while he's gone. Who else in here can walk through? You will get the slides. You will get the slides. I'm gone. Jake and I died. Unfortunately, you're as much information as you can. Did you get anything out of this or not? What are you going to do when you sit down and it's time to write your next video? Just tell me what you're going to do. Go ahead. We'll go right here. You're going to review what?
Create a beginning, middle, and end.
And how are you going to create it? Like, what do you mean create it?
I would create an outline.
You create an outline. This is what we were going to say. This is we don't want you to miss it. This is what great people are doing. They're whipping out a little piece of paper, or if your thumbs type faster than mine, I don't care what format it is. What am I going to talk about today? Okay, well, at least a whole bunch of smart people gave me 5 topics. Nick and Jake gave me a slide that got 7 different ways I could talk about it with those episodes. I'm going to pick one of those, and that's what I'm going to talk about. Okay, cool. My topic is mortgage rates. And I just had this week somebody who didn't think that they could get a good rate. I referred them to Shelly. They got a kick butt rate. Perfect. I've got a show. Now I've got a story, but I don't have an episode. Okay? So sit down and think of something to talk about. You do have to have something to talk about, right? Now I'm going to think. Okay, now I'm scribbling down. Here's what my show is about. Mortgage rates and the story of referring them to Shelly's thing and they got funded. Okay, cool. Now what's next? Now what do I need? I need a call to action at the end. Therefore what? So what? Somebody got a good mortgage from Shelly. Can I? Are you inferring that I can? Should I contact you or should I contact Shelly?
Contact me today. I'll get you in touch with Shelly.
Exactly. Right. Okay, there's a call to action. And don't miss, we put up these because we train on different things. Don't get the call to action to send me a direct message right now and I will help you. Call my phone number right now. Like they don't have to be 10 steps away. The number one call to action is send me a direct message and let's get a conversation started, right? Like reach out and let's go. That's like, don't underestimate that. Call me today. Okay, now we're almost to an episode. We've got a really good story and we've got an ending. What else do we need? A hook. We've got to have some way to start this thing that is like a little Christmas present to this amazing story that's going to help it get off the ground. I'm going to spend the last few precious seconds that we have with you to try to like role play this a little bit. What could be a hook?
Saving marriages.
Yeah, that's true.
Saving marriages.
The low interest rate is saving marriages.
Cool. Hey, right there, okay? That was a fact, right? What were the three things that we said? What's the three ways? If you can't think of it other, what are the three hooks? The three primary hooks? A fact, a story, a question. Does your marriage suck right now? Maybe it's because of your mortgage rate. Let's talk about that. Right? Did you know that 37% of people would say my life would be so much freaking better if I had a 2% rate instead of a 7% rate? Did you know? Like, who cares if it's even true? It's funny. It's just, and I'm going to leave the regulatory stuff to somebody else. I have no clue what you can and cannot say. You can almost always say that if it works, somebody can put you in jail for it. That's the thing of marketing, right? Like, so we're always taking a little bit of a risk by not being a robot, okay? So now we got a story, or hey, 10 years ago, my love life sucked. Today, it's never been better, and the reason for it is my mortgage rate. Tell me who's not going to watch that, right? Okay? Now I got a really good hook. I'm almost to an episode. Like, we're almost there. But if there's no bridge, I don't care. And I didn't see the ending. And I didn't know that you created the greatest movie of all time and that this should have won an Academy Award, but there was no freaking frame. Okay? So how can I get from mortgage rates to love life? It's a great hook, but you got to make it pay off. What can make it pay off? Just talk about it. Just tell them, hey, look, I deal with this every single day, and we think it's this some kind of transaction, but really I deal with human beings. And you know what people stress about? They stress about religion and how they're going to raise their kids and their money. And you know what kind of money is sucking just like a constant, like somebody's got their freaking hand in your pocket every single night and they just eats while you sleep? It's your mortgage rate. Let's talk about this. Okay, and now you're into your content, okay? You went from hook, which was really super funny. Congratulations, I give it an all-star. Connecting your love, like, dude, like, totally. Okay, who was this?
It's all Tom.
Okay, love it. Everybody use it. Nobody will see the same video, and you will all be champions. Everybody shoot this video, send them to us. We'll give you a gold star, okay? There we go. I'm going to be not so smooth and pull out my thing and check what freaking time it is so that I can honor my time commitment to you guys. That's awesome. We got just enough to get this thing done, okay? Can you build an episode? Yeah. Of course you can. Anybody can do this. It's just a commitment that this is the thing that I'm going to actually go get good at. Because next week somebody else is going to be on the stage and they're going to be telling us about something else. And then if you don't have any intention, you're just going to be chasing the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and nothing's ever going to freaking get done. And you're not going to be a master of anything, and you're just going to be sitting there blaming the world and saying, none of this freaking stuff works. God, idiots. And Jake and I will take our place in the long line of idiots who what they said didn't work for me because I'm uniquely stupid, or you don't understand how it works in Vegas, or whatever excuse you want to come up with, right? That's what I'm saying, trying to give you a little bit of the juice here at the end, which is why we took so much time at the beginning to try to become friends so we know we actually like you. But if I just laid it all on you and then we didn't give you any kind of kick in the pants, then you wouldn't do it, right? Okay, so we're here to tell you that social video is the number one thing you should become the master of. It'll change your life more than anything else. If you want to defy us, we dare you. But that's how strongly we believe in what we do and how much difference this has made to every single person we've worked with that's committed to it. It's super, super fun. It is the next big thing. It will be the next big thing for 10 years. Some other thing might come and complement it, but this is not going away. This is like paying to get rid of commercials That's going to be popular for a little while, right? I have a feeling that subscription television's probably going to hold for 30, 40, 50 years long after we're dead. People will still be saying, I'd rather pay $7 than watch that stupid commercial. Perfect exchange. And somebody for the next 30 or 40 years is going to say, I would way rather go check out your social profile, make sure that you have 10 or 12 cool videos, and then engage with you than just trust your dumb opt-in form, which looks exactly like everybody else that built a template off the same platform. You know what's cool about platforms and they have templates is they're easy to do, and what's not so cool about them is everyone else has the same 3 templates. And you kind of look like everybody else, right? I'm not saying you should spend a bunch of time wigging out about your template. Your template doesn't matter. They're not looking at your template. They're looking at your videos, saying, should I fill out this person's form or not, right? There we go. Okay, here we go. So the calls to action, there they are. We'll give you the slides. We've now given you the Hollywood formula. You know exactly how to put together an episode of a little tiny mini 5-minute TV show instead of just some weird rant on the internet, okay? We've given you at least a formula to come up with at least 35 different topics, 5 topics, 7 different types of posts, right? You have nothing, you don't even need to worry about anything to talk about. You know exactly how to put it together. We just did a little bit of homework, and with a little bit of ingenuity, you can put the show together, right? Like, you can do this, okay? So let's talk about this. Oh, hold on. We're going to talk about Aaron in just a second. We're going to talk about that. Okay, here's what we want to talk about. What happens if somebody actually, okay, I'm going to rewind here. Here we go. I will remind you that this is the gap. Anywhere up here is way cool. Any NBA player is probably really happy to play basketball for millions of dollars. We're not all going to be LeBron, but I'd go play 82 games of basketball for $1.5 million and sit the bench. I'd do that. I can't. I never made it out of high school. I never made my high school team, right? Okay? Life up here is great. It doesn't matter if you're at the top or the bottom. Life down here is tough. And it's kind of exhausting. And the only reason any of us are willing to do it is because we're dumb enough or amazing enough or crazy enough, however you want to put it, to believe that we're still got what it takes to get to the majors. That's why we're here, okay, right? So what happens when you actually get to the majors and somebody that thinks you're really, really cool decides to share your stuff, right? Okay, Jake, I'm going to give you
2 minutes.
60 seconds, 2 minutes to talk about Aaron Wagner because it's absolutely critical to what you're saying. So tell us who Aaron Wagner is and how and why it's relevant to us.
Yes, so.
Oh, let's get it on. I will get your slides.
First super awesome picture.
There we go.
Me at my wedding recently.
Jake got married this summer. Yay!
Oh, I did end up getting married again, just so everyone knows. So Aaron is a really good friend of mine, and he was someone that I connected with really early on in my video production career. And this dude is like I hope I turn into him when I'm older. This dude runs like 20 companies, all different. He's probably like one of the richest dudes in Utah, and he's just like the coolest guy on the planet. If you go on follow him on Instagram, he's just doing cool stuff all the time. He's running all these companies. And to cut to the chase.
And he's legitimately cool and nice. And he is just like he seems.
Yes.
Which is, shall we say,
Wagner.
Not always the case.
Yes, and so a lot of people that I've connected
Wagner.
with over the years definitely are not always who they seem. Just put themselves out there. Just say that. Keep it right there. But something that makes him really special is a conversation I had with him recently, because it's so important to me and in my business to connect with people who are influencers. And when I say influencers, yes, I'm talking about really awesome people that have tons of followers, but this could be people that just have a little bit more followers than you, and then a little bit more and a little bit more. You don't have to go straight to whoever's a mogul in real estate, okay? But something that was really cool about Aaron was, I was talking to him and I said, man, you're in 20 companies, you do all this stuff, like, just asking him about like people connecting with him through Instagram, because I couldn't imagine the people that see the lifestyle that he has and they want to like go and just offer some value to him. And he's like, the really cool thing about it is I get all these DMs all the time, like literally 50, 100 a day. And he's like, I'm looking at him, and I was like, wait, you're looking at him? And he's like, yes, I look at all of them.
DMs means a direct message on Instagram. So somebody saw his Instagram, they're sending him a direct message saying, Aaron, I want to talk to you in some different way. They're not liking in the comment section, they're sending him a direct message,
Yes.
The equivalent of sending him an email or a text message.
Yes, thank you. And the craziest thing was this dude who's a multimillionaire, he has 7 kids. He's 35 years old. He's like, has all these things you could be doing. I'm like, you're actually looking at him? And I was like, I believed it to be true because I talked to a lot of other influencers and I know they did it too. But him, it was just like, there's no way he would ever spend the time to do that. He was like, this is the problem though. And he's like, I tell people this all the time. He's like, I get this DM. They have all this value they could add to me. It's like, sounds amazing. I'm interested. I want that. I go to their profile, and it literally is just like 3 pictures, and 2 of them are of the cat, and one of them is like him moving into his mom's basement. Like, it's just, what is this? Like, you literally did the hardest part, which is connecting with someone and getting their attention, their undivided attention, and then you're really like gonna let them come back to your profile, and you don't have magnetic content, you don't have an interesting life, you don't even know what you do. Like, I can't even believe that the thing that they're reaching out to me about, him now, and just switching there. Can't even believe the thing that they're reaching out to me about, I can't go to their profile and even know that they do that. And like, but I actually would have taken them up on it. And so the reason that this is so important is because a lot of us get it really twisted that we can't go and connect with people who are cool in the sphere of our, industry or whatever it is, or in our hobby. You couldn't possibly connect with them. And it's like, no, they are waiting for you guys to kill it on social video, show who you really are, be a real person, and reach out to them. One thing I was gonna say, also, so Aaron is really awesome because he opened my mind to that. Like, no, all these people, they really are waiting for you guys to bring out the best of you through social media and social video. And the last thing that I'll say is my, it's just crazy to think back to what happened, this situation with my mom and getting that opportunity that she had. And it came from just creating a couple social videos, following the Hollywood script and everything. And it was like, this is what I truly see in every single person. I'm not even kidding. I look at someone, and my mom's, she's almost 60, doesn't look the most interesting, worst wardrobe choices of all time, always. It's just terrible. I don't even know, let's not even start there. Literally, because of a video that she got 3 likes on, there was 100,000 people that were waiting for her to put those videos out. To put a social video out. That's the opportunity that we're presenting to you guys today by literally taking this and running with it. It's so huge. And so many people are waiting for you. Whether it's 100 or 1,000 or 100,000 or 100 million, there's people waiting for you to go and put your message out there, show who you are, bring the best version of yourself out to the world, and we all have this amazing tool called social video to do that with. And so that's it. I'll stop there, but a little over 60 seconds. Thank you guys.
Perfect. If Aaron's looking, your Aaron's looking. Whoever that is for you. You know what? Anyone here heard of Lewis Howes? It's the School of Greatness. One of the most popular podcasts on the planet. Everyone wants to be on his podcast. No. You know why you can't be on my podcast? Because everyone wants to be on my podcast. And my audience expects me to deliver the best. And so he has a very high bar, right? Guess how many people have podcasts that are not Lewis Howes, that need content, that really, really are waiting. They have an audience. They've got 100,000 people that download every single podcast, and they really would love to talk to a cool realtor. But guess what they also have? An obligation to their audience. And so they just want to know, can we have a little value exchange here? What's the easiest way we can have a value exchange? Is that you look like who you say you are to me. If you want to approach me and be on my podcast and you're going to tell me that you're a really cool kick-butt realtor in Las Vegas and you've been doing this for 8 years and you've been doing, then it's kind of weird that you don't look like that. And if it's kind of weird, then I'm not going to answer your DM. I'm just going to ignore it because I am kind of busy. But I am also kind of looking for the people that look like it because I do need somebody on my podcast on Wednesday. And I do need somebody to buy a house from. And I'm not looking for a house, but I've got rich friends that I do. This guy's coming in from California, and he's looking for that executive home, and he doesn't know what to do, and he just asked me, perfect timing, can you help him with that? Who knows? Who knows? Capping it and saying that your success is going to come in some way is so limiting. It's so limiting. All we're saying is that if you commit to doing this. You just crush it. The only way you can do this is by following the formula and just crushing your videos and just putting out stuff all day long when there's 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 likes. Number one is it will go up. Everything that's planted grows, right? May not be the greatest harvest ever, but you just keep growing your base, you keep growing your stuff, you keep doing your stuff, and all of a sudden, somebody comes along that's Aaron Wagner or some guys that, it's not just clients that are looking at you. It's potential partners. It's everybody. Everybody's looking for you. Everybody's looking at you, and they're just saying, is this the person? Is this the gal that's who she says she looks? 99% of people aren't. But you might be, because I need somebody to be. Will somebody please stand up and just be the person that they said that they were like they just look like the person that they said they were when they approached me, and then I can have a conversation with them and I'll verify that they are. That's what we're talking about. This is the goal, is to just get up here, get up into the majors, right? Get up here, get somebody to have you on their podcast. What would it take if you had to get the governor of Nevada on your Facebook video? I don't know. I have no idea. The governor sucks. Okay, get the lieutenant governor. Get the person that hates the governor. Get whatever you want, right? All I'm saying is, with a little bit of intention, you can get whoever the heck you want. You just got to go be relevant to them. I'm going to fast forward through this lightning round. How do I get people to share my stuff? Number one, I will not repeat this. Create good stuff. Nobody's going to share your stuff if it's mediocre because they have an obligation to their audience, right? If I write a mediocre screenplay, Steven Spielberg is not going to direct it as a personal favor. That he's got 1 million people who could give him a terrible screenplay. He's got to deflect himself against that. If I wrote a good one, probably not going to get Steven Spielberg to write it, but if I showed it to 25 Hollywood directors, I might make it into a film, right? Write a really good screenplay. Write a good novel. Create good content. That's why people will share it. Got it? 2, network all the time. Okay? Who in here is familiar with the Dream 100 list? Okay? Came from a book that I never read because everyone told me that it was the only good part of the book. Right? Perfect. Thank you for saving me the time. This is like you're going to go in and you're going to say, who are the 100 people that in some way I want to deliberately create a business connection with? And then you start to dream. That's why it's called the Dream 100. Don't limit it to this. Don't limit it to people that are in real estate. Don't limit it to people that are in there. Who is it that I could go out and make some kind of deliberate business connection with that in some way would elevate my channel? That would be interesting. That would just, like, my social content got better. Okay? And then start to write it down. 100's a lot, so start with 10. And then once you start with 10, your brain will start to kick in, you'll start to dream, and you'll start to get the other people in there, okay? Go create that list of people. Who is it that I'm going to deliberately, over time, create a connection with? And then go make sure that you're rocking your last 10 videos so that when Aaron Wagner looks at your stuff and he wants to see your stuff, he sees something good, right? Hey, this person looks like they said, dude, tell me more. Let's get on the phone. When are you available, right? If your stuff sucks, you're out. If your stuff's good, you're still in the game, okay? And then reach out and be relevant, okay? Aaron, do you want to buy a house from me? That's not relevant. Hey, Aaron, I did some research on you. It looks like you do this, and your passions are this and this and this. I love that because my passions are this and this and this. I just feel like if we had a conversation, there might be some relevance in here. Maybe there is. Check out your video. This lady's awesome. What can you do? I need somebody on my podcast on Thursday. I got of all those things I showed at the very beginning, I got on Perry Marshall's podcast because I made a relevant blog post to him. This is like 10 years ago. He literally emailed me out of the blue back when you used to leave comments on people's blogs, and it was like he found my email through there. Literally, I just had a cancellation. Can you be my podcast episode for today? And suddenly, 75,000 people know who I am. Why? Because I made a relevant post on his blog post back when we did blogs, and that was like a thing, right? This is the new thing. Okay, here we go. Punch above your weight class, which means it doesn't do you any good to go and network with people who have less following than you, or to go interview somebody that nobody else cares about, or to have people on your podcast that are not going to help you. You can help them, but in helping them, you got to make sure that as an entrepreneur who's got to kill a buffalo today to eat, that 80% of your time is figuring out how you can be relevant to somebody that can help you. So you got to figure out, how can I be relevant to a bigger fish than me? Okay, how can I be relevant and get on that thing? So that when they share your stuff, let's see, where are we at? Hey, I've got 8 followers. They've got 100,000 that just saw my face and my name. Boop! Right? This is the goal. okay? It's not to just grind and toil away until your little tiny seeds turn into something, and after years you're gonna scratch out some meager living as like an off-grid farmer. Like, God, just not that, right? That nobody got out of corporate America and do what you good folks do to scratch it out. Like, we wanted something awesome. We wanted a dream. We can still have it. This is how you have it, okay? There we go. Let's see if that's it. Network all the time. Punch above your weight class. How can I make them feel good about themselves, aka become incredible at schmoozing? Like, if I could just, again, give you one skill set, it would be the ability to schmooze people that are relevant. What does schmooze mean? It means you say something really nice to them. You know what Aaron Wagner likes? People that go to his blog, notice something good that he did and say something about it. Everybody likes that. Everybody likes that you've done a little bit of research on me. Everybody likes that you know what my passion is. Everybody likes the fact that you commented on something that I put out there and you said something nice about it, because guess what? Aaron Wagner thinks he's an idiot too. Just like J-Lo does and just like everybody else does. He's just over there saying, dude, I own 20 companies. I hope none of these people figure out that I'm in charge. Like, I'm just Aaron Wagner from freaking whatever high school I went to. Man, I hope nobody ever finds out, right? That's what he's doing too. So guess what? Even though he has all these companies, all this money, he loves compliments. He loves the reassurance that what he did was great. So become a schmoozer. Schmoozing's great. Just become a relevant schmoozer who has something to freaking back it up. Does that make sense? But you can't be beating around the bush, and you can't be going right for the jugular, and you can't be all weird like, hey, maybe just sometimes something, you know, if you wanted to take pity on somebody, maybe it could be me, you know, like they're just like, dude, no, like, I got 30 seconds, what do you want? I did some research on your stuff. I really, really like this. I feel like there could be a connection. If I did this and this and this, would that be relevant so you could have a bit of your time? Okay, I can say yes or no to that, right? Become a professional schmoozer. And then follow up with every lead. Everyone talk about that? Fuel. The fuel for your business, follow up with every lead. Somebody that commented on your or liked your Facebook post is just as valuable to you, potentially way more valuable in the modern times on this bullet train we're on with social video than some person who gave you the third dumb email that I never check in exchange for your mortgage rate application thing. Like, this is your modern day list. Follow up with these people. Follow up with them. Take time. Follow up with them. Okay? From there. That's the main part of our presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.